Hello and welcome back to the Random Show with your host Agostinho Zinga, and this is episode number 137. Episode number 137 of the Random Show with your host Agostinho Zinga, and I hope you're doing well. Let's start the show.
I'm with kids. I want to show them why violence isn't the answer. I am going to step up against the devil and tell people, no, you can't make money off OnlyFans by sucking your brother's cock. What the fuck? I don't care what God you believe in. Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Buddha. If you're Jewish, you don't do that. So I am going to step up against the devil because I am here from God to protect my religion.
Gotcha.
Welcome to the Random Show. Hope you're doing well wherever you may be. Hope you've all received that message and you're not out here playing with each other's cocks. So if you are, make sure that it's a consensual relationship and everything's going to be okay. But don't go around grabbing strangers' cocks. Try and grab your own. And if you are going to grab someone's strange cock, make sure they know who you are. Let's just make sure you know who they are, right? Oh my god, if you're wondering where that clip comes from, it's flipping FOUSEY, the absolute legend. I've been loving all the FOUSEY footage, I'm not going to lie. He's on this G7 game 7 wave he's on. He's basically streaming every single day, 24 hours a day without interruption, barely. I'm not really sure what the end goal is, but he's on kick. He's, he's making money, he's having fun, he's running around the country and just, bumping into people, doing loads of flipping bumps probably, or maybe not, who knows, meeting loads of IG girls, hanging out with other content creators and just being an absolute legend. And I'm loving every single bit of it. I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely loving it. I swear to God, I'm loving every single bit of it. It's so flipping unhinged and doesn't actually make any sense. So here's flipping FOUSEY's. This is actually an account you should follow if you want to keep abreast of what's been going on during FOUSEY streams. It's called FOUSEY Clips 24/7. As you can see there, it's called FOUSEY Alert on Twitter. So at FOUSEY Alert, check that out as an account because they've got loads of great clips of, his live streams over the last couple of days, or no, since he started doing it actually, and it's all flipping hilarious. I want to see some of these clips actually. Let me see this one. There's this kid called Neon who I'm not really too familiar with. Not too sure if you guys know who this Neon kid is, but he looks like a really dweeby, he looks like a really kind of geeky looking guy who I guess that's his kind of shtick, to kind of look a little bit awkward and geeky. And what's this? The title says, FOUSEY pressed Neon for the second day in a row while on stream with Aiden. So Aiden Ross is out there too. Let's see what happens here. I'm intrigued to see what the deal is here.
Get on your hands and knees. Get on your hands and knees. On your hands.
You Arabian psychopath. Take it, bro. Oh my fucking
Hold on.
god.
All right.
Oh my heart.
Say sorry.
My heart.
Everyone chill.
My heart.
He's just called me a dumb fuck. I'm 33 years old.
There's no point. Listen, you're 35. You gotta grip your life, man. Holy.
Hey. I dare you. I dare you.
I dare you.
Fucking
Bitch.
Did you hear that? I heard that. Listen, there's no point of escalation. This
Fucking weirdo. God damn. You don't want it.
Hey, dude. My kid wants to take a picture with you. Is that cool? I have no idea.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, whose mum speaks like that? Hello, excuse me in the chat. Does any of you guys' mum speak like this? There's this woman in the background. Hey, dude, my son wants to take a picture. Like, whose mum speak like that? Or is she like what is she? What's the vibe there? My mum doesn't speak like this. What's this?
Want it?
Hey, dude. My kid wants to take a picture with you. Is that cool? I have no.
She kind of sounds foreign, isn't it? She might be foreign. Probably that's why. Hey, dude, my son wants to take a picture with you. Is that cool? Hey, dude, can I suck your dick and take a picture of my son, please? Like, what's this looks about? What is this?
Hey, dude. My kid wants to take a picture with you. Is that cool?
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'm loving it all. I know some of you guys won't love it, judging by the response I'm getting. But what do you guys think of some of this kind of live streamer content stuff? Are you guys fans of it? Do you guys hate it? I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie, because it's I think it's part of my chaos energy. I love just like non-stop chaos. You know what I mean? It's fucking incredible. And I love the fact that these guys legitimately have no shame. They have no, They have no capacity to be embarrassed, and it makes for great TV. Or great reality TV, or great streams, whatever you want to classify it. I really, really do enjoy that sort of stuff. It kind of gives me a little pep in my step because I know I couldn't do it. I can maybe do live streams sitting at a desk talking to you guys and stuff, and at most go into the shops, but I'm not going to start fucking with people on purpose just so I can get a reaction out of them, like Ice Poseidon style, so that, you know, something could happen off the back of that. I'm not in that kind of vibe in the slightest. But yeah, that whole FOUSEY stuff, I'm loving. Unapologetically, I can't deny I've been glued to that flipping Twitter account, FOUSEY Alert, and seeing all the clips of him running around town doing what he's doing has been quite incredible to watch. I'm not going to flipping lie. But yeah, big up everybody in the stream chat, big up everybody hanging in there. I appreciate all you guys. They're going to get into the show and bang out some fucking content for you guys and talk about all this good funny shit. And then we're also going to watch the Fire and the Kid latest episode in full because I haven't got any clips of it yet or noted down some things, so please forgive me if some of you guys get bored, but I want to still check it out and see what's happened since they come back from the fucking Will Compton and Taylor Lewin fucking performance or whatever else happened over there. So let's see what's going on over there. One interesting thing, usually when I make clips from the live stream of any content I've watched on the Fire and the Kid, it's very rare that the stuff gets claimed, but I've noticed, I think they may have past the Will Compton and Taylor Lewin, the guys from Bustin' with the Boys, TFATK. I think Brendan and Brian probably passed that on to Bent Pixels to put that through whatever system they've got to recognize shit, because all those clips that I posted of the Bustin' with the Boys guys on TFATK got claimed. They're still up. That's a good thing. I don't really care about the fucking views and shit, but they all got claimed. So it's probably them purposely doing that because they knew, you know, it was a bit of a banger episode. They've got, obviously, that's probably one of their high profile guests in it. I think outside of obviously the comedy guys, I think the Bustin' with the Boys guys were probably quite high profile because of, you know, the fact that they've become quite famous over the last few months and stuff, and they've become, you know, getting a little bit of clout out there. So that's been great. But I've noticed they've definitely kind of claimed those things. So you can definitely see that those guys kind of knew that was a bit of a banger of episode. So big up them for that anyway. What was I going to say again? Oh, another thing to kind of mention, I don't know what's going on, right? But I've noticed some people here and there leaving comments like, oh, one particular comment was like, what was it? Do you just wait for other videos to be put up and then you make yours and upload them or something, right? And I guess the accusation is that I watch other comedy detractor content and then just rabbit what they say and then do the same videos or something. I guess that's the fucking accusation. I don't know why that is the accusation. It's a bit strange. I'm not saying anything I'm saying is incredibly insightful or smart, but it's pretty easy to come to the same conclusion as most people if you're sensible. If you're not a redact, if you're not overly agenda driven, if you don't hate anybody in this scene, 'cause I don't hate anybody, I just watch it for the fun of it. I think some of you guys in the chat legitimately might hate Brendan, but I don't hate anybody. I just enjoy laughing at the guy because it's incredibly funny. And I'm not gonna lie, I find Brendan and that whole BAPAVERSE and JRE thing to be my version of like Love Island. I don't watch Love Island. I don't watch Big Brother. I don't watch, you know, Bachelor or Bachelorette or any type of reality TV. But the closest thing to it is following the JRE Extended Universe guys and the BAPAVERSE. So I kind of like all that sort of stuff just to kind of pass some time, shits and giggles, get some LOLs and whatever it may be. And of course, meet some of you cool guys in the chat and of course in the Discord and stuff. Join the Discord, link in the description. But sometimes I have people accusing me of like stealing other people's opinions and shit, which is weird because it's not as if like anybody's opinions are that interesting or that insightful. We all come to the similar type of opinions about these guys. If we watch enough of their content, it's not that hard to come to the same kind of opinion or point of view of what they're doing, really. I don't know. Or maybe I'm trying to protect my own back. I'm not really too sure, but it's a strange accusation to put out there. I was thinking, hold on, you guys think I'm legitimately watching other channels and trying to get their fucking, you know, trying to, you know, leech their ideas or copy their ideas. Like I'm fucking, what's his name? Carlos Mencia or something. Like that's a bit redacted, isn't it? Like it's not that deep. It really isn't that deep. But I guess, you know, people are whatever they do. And also, when I do these shows, with the exception of like, Who? With the exception of maybe Too Lazy to Try, and sometimes I like to watch those videos with you guys on a live stream. I don't necessarily watch a lot of the opinion based fucking streams unless I'm doing the live ones here. So I don't actually, you know what I mean? And even sometimes I watch them. Like we've watched plenty of videos from other channels before where I've disagreed with the content creators' view on certain things. I don't know. Or sometimes I've agreed with what they've said, but you've obviously seen it in the video. So it's a strange accusation. I don't know. It might, you know what it is? It might actually be a troll. It might actually be a troll that the people are doing, and it's actually working pretty well. But I don't understand. Like, how am I meant to copy an opinion of somebody when we're all coming to the same opinion? Like, okay, this person's redacted, that person's a diddler, this person's lying, that didn't happen. You know, it's not hard to say this. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I am copying. Maybe I am the fucking Carlos Mencia of content creators. You never know. Who knows? Who knows? Probably is the case. What are you guys saying in the chat? How can you steal when you do it live? So that's just comments. Yeah, exactly. Pie. Yeah, I don't know. When blacks go bad. Don't know what that's about there. Blows my mind how self-aware BAPA is. Yep. Might be good content to talk about now, bro. What was he saying here? I bet that. Yo, big up Stinger, good for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, brother.
Is audio really king?
I don't know. I guess audio isn't king. I guess audio isn't king. I guess I'm gonna get 500,000 views across 500,000 views, you know, on this video, and more across other platforms, that Brendan Shaw would say. But I don't know what's going on there, honestly. Big up you, Stinger Group. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I bet the Illuminati is a real run. Quite said, who said that? Is he the most original person I know? You look, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet here. I'm not fishing for compliments or anything. Don't get me wrong. And I don't remember who exactly said it, but I've seen the comment pop up here and there. Like sometimes when I do my live streams or when I clip stuff up, I've seen people say stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, you just wait. Because I guess, because I'm one of the slower reacting channels out there, I get that. I do apologize for that. I'm a bit lazy, and you know, unfortunately I can get a bit busy with outside shit, and I don't have time to maybe cover stuff as quickly as I probably should as all the other channels. So I guess because I'm always kind of late by a couple of days or maybe more, or sometimes I'll do a stream early but then I'll clip the stuff really late, like 4 days or 5 days later, it might look like I've copied what someone said because you've seen other videos from other channels before mine, or you haven't watched my full live stream because there's fucking 4 hours. Who's gonna sit down and watch a 4-hour live stream after the fact? You know what I mean? I understand why people say that, but it's not the truth. I can guarantee you I don't copy what people say. Like, and if I did, you'd see it on the live stream. I would just say, yeah, you know, I agreed with what you said. It's not that big of a deal. But I honestly, I'm perplexed because I honestly think most people that watch this stuff or that are into this sort of content, you probably have the same opinion as I do. You probably would say the same things that I would say if I wasn't here anyway. It's not as if what I'm saying is like that, like fucking crazy and illuminating. It's just common sense shit. You know what I mean? If you don't hate these people and you actually approach it from a somewhat neutral point of view, and you laugh and you praise and you laugh and you praise and you tease and you whatever, but you're somewhat neutral, then you should probably come to the same conclusion I do, or that most sensible people do. But I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, moving on. This comment was really good though. I saved this one. I should have saved the other one so I could highlight it. But this one, big up this person. They made a really good point here. And I guess this kind of highlights what we were talking about earlier about the whiskey thing with Aaron Rodgers and Brendan, right? So look at this comment here. This is from the clip obviously I put up of like Brendan. Sorry, let me actually zoom it so it's a bit easier to read. So this is a comment from the clip that I uploaded of Brendan saying him and Aaron Rodgers are in business. I'm saying, I think I mentioned it in the clip, that I believe that it's somewhat true. Because I've got a feeling in general when it comes to Brendan, I always say I think it's more so that everything he says, there's always a little kernel of truth in it, but he just exaggerates it because he's just incapable of, you know, he just is just so desperate for validation, wants to always be the big dog in the fucking room, and he's always going to try and fluff a story up, but there's always a kernel of truth. So I think more than likely my fucking assertion was that Aaron Rodgers is not investing in Thick Boy or Tiger Thick whiskey. He just wants to buy it and then slap his own logo on it or something, right? That's basically what he wants to do, or maybe tweak the recipe because it's already because this already done, right? He's already got barrels of fucking whiskey wherever somewhere. He just wants to put that shit in bottles, wherever's left over, and kind of, you know, take over the name and the license, whatever, and go from there. And this person left a similar comment because I guess they're a bit more clued into the industry, and they said the following. So big up this person, Keith, I think, right? Keith Thompson. They said, having a good understanding of the whiskey industry, you are correct. They are trying to buy his barrels. Whiskey has had a boom and it's near impossible to get product. Which credit to Brendan, he did. I can guarantee that they want to buy and rebrand it. Brendan will probably say later that he liked it so much that they decided just to buy 100%. And truthfully, he will probably turn a profit. They want his permits and shelf space. So most likely, Brendan might come into some money. I know at the moment, you know, money's a bit tight because of the whole cast media drama going on, but Brendan might hit a fucking lick. You might see Brendan buy another Porsche. You might see him buy a Lamborghini, a Ferrari. You might see them move to fucking Austin soon, because he's going to come into some money if that's true. If Aaron Rodgers comes in and says, hey, I'm going to buy your business, take it over completely and do my own thing with it, he might get a really big look from that. And don't be surprised if he also gets a picture on top of it just to kind of, you know, seal the deal. So, you know, Brendan lies a lot, but sometimes there is some truth in what he says. So don't be surprised and don't be shocked if Brendan takes like a really smug picture of himself standing next to Aaron Rodgers holding Tiger whiskey, you know, bottles in their hands. I think it's going to happen. So big up this person for clarifying and for offering some further information on everything that was going there. What's going on here? Next on the list here. Have you guys seen this? Like, I was thinking the other day, like, I can kind of understand. I think at first when I was checking out all these streamers like XQC and all these guys and seeing the kind of deals they were getting on Kick, it was really impressive. And I was like, oh my God, I'd love that to be me, right? But I was just kind of looking at it from a kind of impressive way and seeking, oh, that's kind of motivational, right? So these guys are kind of getting these amazing deals. Then all the drama started around the reaction channels. People responding really negatively to these streamers, also having reaction. Oh, big up Felix, appreciate you for the $1 super donation.
Read my comment next on the whiskey.
What's your comment, brother? What comment did you make? Yo, big up Felix, appreciate you for the $1 donation, brother. What was the comment? Just copy paste it in the chat, brother, and I'll read it now. If you copy paste it in the chat, I'll read it. So I was saying, yeah, when it comes to the live streamers, I was loving it. All the deals they were getting, it was fucking amazing to see. And then a part of me was also understanding why some people hated them, because of the reaction that people had to them doing reaction content, where essentially they just rip a video, copy the title, copy the thumbnail, add their face on it, and sometimes they'll just sit there in pure silence, adding just a little bits here and there, but not really making the work in any way, shape or form transformative. Fucking, I'm stuttering my words and I'm sounding fucking slurred. Way too much coffee. I'm feeling a bit juiced right now, but please bear with me. So I understood why some people would look at those guys and think, oh my God, fuck those guys. How is he getting 100 million for doing that kind of, you know, entry level basic bitch content? I think the same could be applied to some of these comedians, especially BERT KREISCHER. Even though he's obviously a very hardworking guy, clearly funny in his own way to his fans, not for me, but clearly funny in his own way to his own fans, blah, 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 blah. I can understand how the regular dude who maybe has to balance 3 jobs, who maybe doesn't have custody of their kids, who has to fucking battle for fucking, you know, scraps, fight for shelter, you know, fend off fucking scavengers for food, whatever they have to do to keep themselves alive. I can understand when they see BERT KREISCHER living the way he does, that they get angry, that they get pissed off, and they say, fuck that guy. I can definitely understand, because look at this fucking video.
Update from the hurricane in Los Angeles. I say hurricane. Smoker went out last night, ran out of pellets. I didn't plan on that, so we switched it over to the Big Green Egg. We've got a brisket going. We're at about 250. I'm getting in the hot tub. We're going to work out, and we're going to watch this storm. My daughters and wives are fucking terrified. They've taken all precautions. They're like, Dad, things are going to be flying around the backyard. We got to flip the tables upside down. I'm kind of thinking it's not going to be as bad as they think, but I could be wrong. So stay with us. I'll keep you posted.
So just imagine, right? Like, all the hard work that you're doing, and this guy gets to walk around his garden with a gut that legitimately looks like it's got 17 bowling balls in it. you know, probably buzzed off of his fucking head, barbecuing in the rain and just living life. I can understand why some people just detest him for his lifestyle alone. And then on top of that, telling you that he works hard, telling you that you just need to chase your dreams and all this malarkey when he's been afforded this life. It legitimately makes a lot of sense why some people wouldn't like him. But I think this kind of content is fucking hilarious. Let me scroll up here, see what Felix said. Big up Felix, what do you say? You said, I'm in the whiskey industry. BAPA's whiskey isn't doing well, and I think you're on the money with him wanting to get rid of it. Okay, cool. I think though, Felix, my theory is this. I don't even think he was trying to sell his whiskey. I just think he got lucky. I think what you said and what the other guy said, combination is true. I think most likely what happened is like somebody approached him. Somebody said, hey, you've got this brand. Would you be interested in doing a license sale or something, whatever the fucking term is? It was kind of an advantageous thing. And then he sort of decided to then agree and go with it, because I think it also corresponded with Brendan also not talking about it that much. Have you noticed? Have you guys noticed that Brendan doesn't talk about Tiger whiskey too much? I've noticed two things. I've noticed Brendan doesn't drink on air a lot, as he would say, or hair, as he did in the past. And I've also noticed he's not pushing the whiskey as much. The not drinking on air, I've got a suspicion it may have to do with the sponsors or whoever sponsors the podcast or something along that kind of lines, in that he's now doing separate ad reads. Like most professional podcast, they'll do like an ad read separate, right? You just record the ad read, you'd go through it well, you'd kind of practice it, you'd maybe go back and forth with the fucking advertiser, make sure they like what they hear, and then you'd kind of insert that into your fucking video like fucking Tim Dillon does, which probably there's too many of those ad reads. But Brendan before would just stammer through them, blabber through them like he always fucking does, and it'll be terrible. And I'll be sometimes thinking to myself, what are you doing, brother? These people are paying you a lot of money. These ads guys, sometimes I think from checking the Fire and the Kid and other subreddits, they were saying they were paying anywhere to between like 30 to 50k for ads, right? Like crazy amounts. And usually that kind of money is the money that can kind of hold you down for the entire year, pay staff salaries and stuff. It's money that can actually, you know, help your business in a big way. So I think you should, you know, give the opportunity a little bit of respect, and I don't know, maybe record the ad separately, right? Or maybe rehearse it, or maybe do a couple of fucking takes, whatever. He's now doing that. So I think the fact that he's doing that, and also the fact that he's not drinking on air, is an indication that the advertisers have said, hey, relax with the drinking early in the morning, you sound like a fucking drunk, and also make sure the ad reads are done in a somewhat eloquent way so you can hear what you're saying and you don't sound mush-mouthed. But then also there is this prospect behind the scenes of a sale coming, which is why he's also not talking about Tiger whiskey too much. Because I bet if you check the Tiger whiskey Instagram, it's probably hasn't been updated since BGL got gadooshed, right? So most likely that sale has always been in the work. So I think it's advantageous. I don't think he planned for the sale. I just think it kind of came about, and now he's taking it because, you know, we've all know what's happening with cast media and everything. So as per usual with Brendan, he's got the luck of the Irish, right? Essentially, he's got luck of the Irish, because whenever it kind of looks like it's looking down and bad for him, he always finds a way to kind of like worm his way out. And now, even though he's owed a bunch of money and he's allegedly trying to go, you know, take CAA to court or something, or the unpaid wages, all this stuff, I think it's going to get cleared up very soon when that Tiger whiskey deal comes through, and when some new ads come through as well with the monies and stuff. You'll see Brendan, like, just keep an eye out on Brendan, and you'll see him buying some stuff. I think that's going to happen. Just keep an eye out. He's going to buy something. Either he's going to buy a new fish tank. There's going to be a fucking, I don't know, a new roll cage for the car, a Lambo. Like, something's going to happen. You're going to see him buy something, and you'll be like, okay, cool. The sale's been done. You're going to see it very, very soon. Also, talking about this, right? Briefly, somebody else mentioned another comment. What did this person say? Oh, they were like, if Brendan goes away, what will you do for work or something? Like, do motherfuckers honestly think that this is like a full-time thing? Like, do people not think I'm employed in something? Do niggas actually think I'm sitting on here every single day talking about Brendan, like, as a job, like legit? Like, do people actually think that? That's fucking wild. It might be actually a good troll to kind of continue, actually. Just say, like, I'm a full-time Brendan SCHAUB, what's that thing called? historian, right? That's what I'm gonna call myself now. Yeah, I'm actually gonna run with it. I'm actually gonna run with the idea that I'm a Brendan Schaub historian, and then I'm actually gonna run with the idea that I'm making. Brendan likes to say, yeah, I'm gonna run with the idea that I'm making 500,000 a day. Brendan likes to exaggerate. Let's exaggerate like Brendan. No, let me say I'm making 100,000 a day. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm a Brendan Schaub historian, and I'm making $100,000 a day. That's what I'm gonna run with now, right? And I'm also gonna say that I live in my parent. Like right now, I'm in my mum's house. I'm living in my mum's house. This is my mum's basement. I don't eat Cheetos, so I don't have Cheeto fingers. But I ask my mum for money. She combs my hair. She washes my underwear. I'm gonna run with that fucking troll because some of these people that leave these comments are just, I'm like, brother, like, I don't know. I guess, hey, I guess it is what it is. Sometimes I can understand though, because if you're not me and you log onto YouTube and then you see 15 clips of mine and then 10 of them are talking about Brendan, I can understand why you think, you know, I'm obsessed, why you think I'm working full time for him or working full time against him. I get it. I can understand from the outside it looks a bit crazy, but honestly, it's not that deep really. It's just shits and giggles, isn't it? We're just having some laughs, we're having some ha he he's, we're joking, we're jostling, we're gisting, whatever that word is. Some of us are jacking each other off, you know, as Brendan would say. Bean cheese, you know, we're living a life, so it is what it is. I'll just run with a troll, but I just thought I'd mention that because I saw those comments today. I was like, bro, these people honestly think like this is like my full-time job. Okay, cool, let's run with it. I'm making $100,000 a day, BAPA to the moon, you know. We're living large out here. We're fucking living large. Moving on from that. What? Let me see. Hold on. Let's let this comment come in because Stinger Goo's on a fucking mad one. I don't know what the fuck this kind of question is, but you know, hey, it kind of is what it is. Let's see this fucking question. These guys are on the fucking mad one. Big up Stinger Goo. Appreciate you.
Are you on Kratom?
Why would you ask me if I'm on Kratom? Honestly, you motherfuckers think I'm a crackhead. I fucking love it. But no, I'm not on Kratom. Like I said, no, actually, you know, let's go run with a troll. I make $100,000 a day. We're talking about Brendan. This is my full-time job. I'm currently on 50 mg of Kratom. I don't even know how Kratom is done, but let me say 50 mg. I put Kratom in everything. I've got Kratom in here. I've got some Kratom in here. Oh, actually, I have Kratom in here because it's green. And you know, yeah, Kratom everywhere, brothers. Big up Stinger Goo. Kratom everywhere. You feel me? Everywhere. But yeah, big up all you guys, man. I love how you guys think I'm a crackhead. There's one half of the community that thinks I'm a crackhead. One half of the community thinks I'm completely leeching my entire livelihood is dependent on Brendan. It's not middle ground. Where's the middle ground, right? One half of people think I copy all my opinions from Unique, right? I rabbit everyone else's opinion. Like, I love it. Like, everyone's got different opinions about me. I mean, I'm so what's that thing called? I'm so misunderstood. I'm so misunderstood. You guys just don't get me. I'm complex. But anyway, let's move. Anyway, let's move. Oh, this one. So this one's a fucking banger. Terence Crawford was recently on Joe Rogan, and he asked Joe Rogan a very interesting question about the business side of UFC and MMA. And Joe Rogan, I didn't know Joe Rogan was this much of a politician. His ability to completely dodge the question and just start talking about another thing is masterful. He had no intention of answering that question, because if he tries to answer the question, you have to address how his good friend Dana White fucks over most of the fighters in the UFC and doesn't pay them a decent amount of money so that they can make, you know, UFC somewhat worthwhile for themselves. A lot of them have to fucking fight 6 times a year to make a decent amount of living. I think most people on the UFC, I saw somewhere, someone said that they're on like 30 grand a year or something, which is absolutely insane, right? And I'm going to read actually an article next from Bloody Elbow where they talk about Sean O'Malley is never going to be able to make Conor McGregor money anymore, because ever since Conor McGregor, the UFC completely changed change their contracts and put things into place that basically limits people from actually balling out in the UFC. You can only get paid what they want to pay you, and that's it. But Rogan is the consummate company, man. I know a lot of people in the UFC MMA space look at DC, Daniel Cormier, and think, oh, he's the fucking top tier company, man. But I think Rogan might be up there, mate. Look at Rogan's ability to completely dodge this question. Absolutely masterful.
Than anybody.
So what you think? Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So what you think on about the business side of MMA and boxing?
In what way?
And like, you know, the way
In
of
what way? You
the
know what
fighters
way.
getting, you know, not getting what they deserve.
In MMA?
And boxing.
Well,
Both.
you know, it's tricky, right? Like this whole thing with you and Spence, like trying to negotiate a proper contract. You know, there's a lot of vultures.
Deflection?
There's a lot of weasels.
Vague?
The one good thing about the UFC is that there's one organization that controls it.
Yes.
The one bad thing about the UFC is that there's one organization that controls it.
Decent comment, right? And you think you'd want to expound a bit. Hear him expound.
So you got good and bad. So like, if I was a manager of a fighter, I would want fighters like your career, where you're tested and you're facing ever increasing challenges, but it's calculated.
What's
It's
this got to do with the
calculated,
question?
and you get lessons from each fight, and then you build up to a point where you're ready to challenge for a title. Like John Jones fought for the title when he was 22. I mean, it was a last-minute fight.
Imagine he asks a specific question about about the business side of the UFC and boxing, and then he talks about John Jones's title fight. John Jones comes out with a flying knee. That's the response to the question, basically. Absolute legend.
Rashad Evans got hurt, and John Jones went in to fight Shogun. John was just so fucking talented, so above everybody else, that he dominated that fight and walked away the world champion, destroyed Shogun. He opened up the fight with a flying knee. 22 years old,
Okay.
first title fight, opens up with a flying knee. Who the fuck does that? Nobody does it. Everybody would be nervous. John's just so loose and creative in there. But in MMA, a lot of times fighters get fights they're really not ready for.
Right.
And they
But
have
I'm not
to take
talking
the
about
fight.
that aspect of
Big up CrossFit for trying to bring it back around and actually get Joe to fucking answer the question. One more time.
I'm talking about the business side of it.
Well, the business side, it speaks to that as well, because for a fighter to get to a point where they're undefeated and they have a big name, then they start getting the big money. And then they're the headline of the card. And, you know, I think there's a lot of good in that. There's a lot of good in preparing a fighter properly. Like you see a lot of fighters when they fight for a title, they might have like 16-1, 16-0. Like people like undefeated records. It's very rare that a UFC fighter gets all the way to a title fight without some losses.
What?
And
So basically, he refused to answer. Big up, Crash.
Is this Joe Rogan or Joe Biden?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Honestly, absolutely incredible. He just completely dodged everything about the fucking question. Big up, Crash. Appreciate you for the super chat, brother. The funny thing about this is that I think someone else mentioned that Joe and Dana are BFFs. Cool. If that's the case, just start off and say, hey, you know, I'm not too sure if you're aware, me and Dana go way back. He's the reason why I'm in the UFC. When he leaves the UFC, I'm going to leave also. I'm only there for him. So I can't really answer that question, honestly, to be honest. I can't really be unbiased in this sort of question. So I just rather not talk about that sort of stuff. Just be honest and say that out front. Don't fucking do the whole dancing thing because it's awful. But then another part of me thinks, the reason why this is kind of disappointing is that Rogan is been known, or has been known, as somebody who pays very well. Allegedly, through the grapevine, other comedians you hear about him. If he takes you on the road, if you open for him, whatever it may be, he pays comedians incredibly well. The rumor is around town nowadays with the comedy mothership, he also pays people incredibly well too if they perform at his comedy club and they do a weekend there. Some people are saying he maybe even overpays some people based on their lack of their profile, whatnot. He just kind of is a fan of comedy comedy and wants to help people out, and he's obviously got the money to be able to afford it. But in actuality, Rogan's one of those type of people where he sees the wrong in the industry in terms of, you know, how they treat comedians, the fact that, you know, how the green rooms are set up and how the time they get on stage, all this stuff, all this logistical stuff, and he basically tries to make it right with his own comedy club and the stuff that he does over there. So you'd think, if that's the case, imagine if somebody like Dana White existed in the comedy scene and they tried to fleece the comedians the way Dana White fleeces and scams and fucking, you know, cheats the fucking fighters in the UFC. Rogan would never stand for it. So it's really interesting to see Rogan turn a blind eye or bury his head in the sand when it comes to Dana and how he treats the UFC fighters, because he would never stand for the same treatment if it affected comedians. He wouldn't have it in the slightest. The other thing that's really disappointing when it comes to this is that I think the sensible approach to dealing with the whole pay issue with UFC fighters, really, in my opinion, the sensible approach would be to just have things in place where, you know, the thing that happened to Wonderboy is another example where the fight got cancelled because the fighter that Wonderboy was going to fight missed weight. So I think you're within your right, if you're a fighter in the UFC, to say, hey, I've done what I should be doing in order to make weight for the fight. That person didn't. If I don't want to fight because I'm conscious of my health and shit, or it's gonna give that person an advantage when they come into the ring, I've got every fucking reason to do so. And if that's be the case, have a stipulation in the contract that you get maybe 50% of your purse, or 60 or 70, a percentage or somewhere along the lines. Wonderboy got nothing. That's fucking crazy. Another thing to fix it, have everybody have a standard base pay. A standard base pay per year, as in when you're when you're on a card on the UFC, you get a salary for the year, like a base pay of, like, let's say 50 grand for each fighter, or maybe a fighter that's appeared on maybe a main card or a fight night card, wherever you want to do it, however you want to do it. Maybe a fighter that appears maybe on the main cards, not the prelims. However way you figure it out, just figure out a way to do a thing where most fighters are on a base salary of 50 grand. Then they can make more on top of it if they have more fights, so that they're not having to fight 6 times in a year just to make the 50 or something. That's fucking crazy. And I also have always hated, I'm not gonna lie, I've always hated how the fighters twerk for the bonus, for the knockout bonus. The fact that they're all fucking begging for it on a microphone, I think that's horrible and cringe. And I think one way to maybe alleviate that and the desperation for it is to maybe give them the ability to fucking earn some money from sponsors on their shorts. You don't need to have it like maybe other leagues out there where it's a bit tacky and they have those fake tattoos on their body and shit. Okay, don't do that, but at least let them make money from just having, you know, being able to fucking take money, or, you know, from having certain sponsors on their fucking shorts. Or maybe in certain areas, they even need to have the sponsors everywhere. Maybe you have a particular section of the short where they're allowed to have maybe 5 sponsors, and then you fucking give them that. What's wrong with that? Even if you don't want to give them a base pay of 50 grand, just say every fighter is allowed to have a square that measures, I don't know, 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters on their fucking shorts, and they can put whatever sponsor they want on there. That's a fucking fair way to go about things. But for some reason, Dana refuses to do it. It's a very odd thing. I don't really know why. I think the UFC can definitely afford giving most fighters a 50 grand fucking salary. They can definitely afford to give them the ability to make some extra cash with sponsors on their shorts and all this malarkey, but they refuse to do it. I don't even think they should go as far as healthcare. Maybe don't do the whole healthcare thing. Maybe they can sort that out on their own. But giving these guys a standard base salary is cool, because some of these fighters are making like 30 grand. I bet you, most likely, and I think most of you guys would agree, most likely, most commentators at the UFC make more money than probably 60% of the fighters in the UFC roster. Can you believe that? Obviously, we know Rogan does because he's fucking blockbuster. You would get that. But I would imagine most commentators, most people who work in the media, you know, in terms of doing the fucking media shows around the UFC and shit, I bet you those guys get paid more than actual fighters on the UFC roster. Imagine salaried employees of the UFC get paid more than the fighters who are putting their fucking, you know, lives on the line, essentially. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know how he gets away with it, and it's fucking crazy to see someone like Rogan, who would never stand for it in comedy, turn a blind eye to it. It's absolutely insane. Again, I don't know much about it. I'm a bit of a casual when it comes to the UFC, but the business side of it just fucking tears me up. And then this article from the Bloody Elbow is a good little addition to what I was talking about here. Actually, before I read the article, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat here. You guys are saying AZ got that Gino Bisconti in hot water drip. Okay, thank you. Yo, big up everybody. Big up TV Huck. Long time no see, brother. Seagu says Dana underpays fighters to keep them hungry. Yeah, I hate that. I think you can still pay fighters a 50K salary, which is not much. 50K for the year when you have to pay for training camps and nutritionists and flights to go to fucking places, whatever. It's not going to go far, 50 grand. Don't get me wrong. But I think a base salary of 50,000 would still allow fighters to be hungry enough to add, to make more money on top of it. But it would also make sure that fighters don't have to fucking, some fighters are making 10 and 10 for the entire year. Overdrawn, no money in their fucking account, having to borrow money or do GoFundMes. It's fucking embarrassing, bro. They're professional athletes. Fuck that shit. Dana pays who he wants. Exactly, TV Huck. Game Bree says I think Dana has sorted out Wonder Boy when he does. No, I think Dana has sorted out Wonder Boy. When he does, Dana never sort anyone out. His contractor fires SCHAUB. No, I don't like. Also, Game Bree, I know you're right here, most likely, but I don't like that. I don't like this kind of like. Because Dana says it a lot. I sort people out. I don't like this kind of. You have to go to him like the Godfather and beg for your fucking for your fucking food and shit. I don't fucking love that shit. I think that's horrible. I think everybody should be able to make a certain amount. There should be no begging, no kissing the ring, no fucking getting the mic and begging for the fucking KO bonus like Brandon says. I think that's fucking ridiculous. I don't love all that shit. Like he acts like, oh yeah, if you come to me and you got an issue, I'll sort you out. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I don't even mention his gambling because I don't think that's anyone's business. Dana makes some money. He can do what he wants with his money. But surely, man, like you should have to know optics, how bad that looks. You're sometimes going to fucking Vegas and spending more on fucking blackjack than some fighters make in a year. And then you're also not willing to pay them just a base salary. It's fucking crazy how out of order that shit is. I'm legitimately surprised that if you decide not to fight because somebody else missed weight, you don't get paid. That to me blew my mind. Because what's the point of having weight classes then? That means in the UFC, that means if you don't fight basically under any condition, you're just not going to get paid. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, let's continue with the article. This is courtesy of Bloody Elbow. It says, why Sean O'Malley will never likely make Conor McGregor money, which is really upsetting, to be fair. I'm not going to lie, because as great as it was to live in the Conor McGregor era, sports moves on, and it is quite cool to see the new breed of, superstars propping up the UFC and shit and making a name for themselves. And it's fun to see somebody else have that journey. And the fact that this headline exists, and these guys from Bloody Elbow probably know way more about me, way more than me about the sport, it's kind of depressing that we're not going to see that level of superstardom and money making from Sean O'Malley, even though he's got the potential to be that guy again. It's really obscene. So let's read the article because it kind of breaks down why that is the case. Sean O'Malley walked out of the Lupe Fiasco superstar, and by all accounts he fits the bill to be to a T. His bout against Aljamain Sterling set records just by virtue of his being there. How do we know that? Because Dana said so. Yet despite his star power and despite the record setting, he likely won't ever make the fabled McGregor money, once referred to as Anderson Silva money, even if he were to land a boxing match against Gervonta Davis. In the latest episode of Hey Not Face, John Nash discussed the factors that present major roadblocks to Sean O'Malley's ascension. Our main topics were Sean O'Malley, no points for you. Where is it here? Does it say it here? Yeah, there we go. What does it say? At his post-fight press conference, Dana White stated that the UFC 292 broke the bantamweight attendance records, and it was the Sugar Show that catapulted them into the prime position. In the week leading to the event, Bloody Elbow staff know that O'Malley trended much higher than Sterling, to the tune of 20 times greater on the impact of Google Trends. Bearing that in mind, I wonder, did Bert Kreischer make Google Trends a thing? Because I never heard of Google Trends until Bert Kreischer kept fucking talking about it. Bert Kreischer probably should get a little bit of money, in an envelope, because of how he popularized the, checking of Google Trends and shit. Anyway, continuing. Bearing in mind that most would assume that the sky's the limit for the needle mover like Sean, but they'd be wrong. First, he won't get a penny off the pay-per-view. Insane. Only champions get pay-per-view points. Cool. Even there, not all champions make them. Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, and a very small handful of others that weren't belt holders at the time have made points in the past, but those were exceptional examples. Sean will make decent money by bantamweight standards for his card. He might have had what's called a side letter, which is a letter of agreement that pays him extra on top of his contracted purse. So he's easily going to be he's easily going to be the well paid compared to other UFC fighters. According to Nash, this fight is a perfect example of what the antitrust lawsuit is about. Here you have a fight between two athletes that obviously added much more value to the standard UFC contest. Why? Because they sold more pay-per-views. They did a bigger gate. There was more interest. That's what's called a marginal revenue product. Theoretically, because they're the people adding the value, they should get the vast majority of the MRP, but they're getting very little. They added probably tens of millions of dollars to the event revenue, and when it's all said and done, they'll get a very small percentage of that. And that, of course, is absolutely obscene. They're so fucking greedy, the UFC. It's fucking crazy. The first call out Sean O'Malley made after winning the belt was to boxing superstar Gervonta Davis. Why would he make that call out? Because he almost assuredly knows he'll never be making the kind of money a bout like that would generate inside the UFC. Sean seems to have a keen business sense and makes the use of his considerable reach. He certainly knows how to keep the media talking about him. The answer to our main query is no. When McGregor fought Mayweather, it was a lightning in a bottle. Conor was at peak popularity. Floyd was still fairly fresh in his retirement, with less than 2 years separating his bout with Andre Berto with the one with McGregor. Mayweather was still in his money-making prime, and as the bout ended in expanding his fortune by a reported 300 million, and Conor 130. Yo, Conor made 130 million off that fucking Floyd fight. This explains everything. This explains everything. I think if I made 130 million off of fighting Floyd, I'd probably be buying all the 8 balls in the world and drinking all the fucking, whiskeys in the world also. He made $130 million from that Floyd Mayweather fight, not including what he makes, day to day from fucking Proper 12 and all these other business ventures. Fucking hell. The gate in excess of 75 million, and the pay-per-view buy rates were the second highest of an all-time 4.3 million. Conor McGregor also had an entire country behind him. Sean O'Malley does not. It was a perfect storm to produce the elusive lightning in the bottle effect. By comparison, David just had the biggest fight when he fought and when he bested Ryan Garcia. The contest drew great numbers, reportedly netted both men 30 million each. That event sold 1.12 pay-per-views and had a 22 million gate and a significant downgrade for the numbers of Mayweather and McGregor. John estimates that the 70-30 split would be a magic number. Then we have to figure in co-promotion. Because the UFC would act as a co-promoter, thus extract a fee at least 50% or even more, since Sugar isn't even in a sweet spot for deal making as Conor was in 2017. While Nash thinks O'Malley would make a nice payday from a fight with either boxer, he reckons it could end up coming under the 8 figures once the UFC gets their cut. Mamma mia. And then why is your hand in my wallet? This is probably the worst one of it, right? Sean said earlier this year that he wanted to open a cannabis dispensary or chain of them to begin a business empire to rival or eclipse that of Conor McGregor. Smart idea. But that may be a major drawback thanks to the slight change in the latest UFC contracts that allowed the company to take a piece of any business venture on the fighters' roster launches, or on their roster launches, on their fight. Can you imagine that? Let's read that one more time. But so he wants to open a dispensary, and it says here there's a slick change in UFC contracts that can allow the company to take a piece of any business venture a fighter on their roster launches. So essentially, Dana White has somehow managed to finagle a 360 deal for fighters. Musicians are in 360 deals where essentially the label loans them money, fronts them money, but then they take a percentage of everything they make, from the record sales to the merch to the live shows. They essentially own them for a very, very long time. So Dana basically created a 360 deal for UFC fighters. Yo, that guy's a fucking scumbag. Like, legit scumbag. Like, he is Scrooge McDuck to the nth degree. He's fucking like the worst of the worst, which is why it makes me really giggle when I think about Brendan and why he keeps trying to ingratiate himself back into Dana White's good graces. Dana White is a piece of shit in my personal opinion. Horrible type of dude, the way he treats the UFC fighters. But then on top of that, he's also somebody that seems very, very, very vindictive and very bitter. When he hates you, you're dead, right? So I could never understand in my head why Brendan thinks him and Dana could ever be friends again. Dana is the kind of guy that has grudges on his own fighters in the UFC. He didn't fucking like, he doesn't like some fighters in the UFC. Like, look what happened with fucking Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou's a saint of a guy. He tries to besmirch and badmouth him in public. Even Wonderboy, he tries to besmirch and, you know, badmouth him in public. And Wonderboy's a fucking saint. He's a fucking super Christian dude, really nice, always polite, barely swears, right? A saint of a human, the kind of guy that most men would want their fucking sister to date if he was young. And he treats him like shit. Why does fucking Brendan think he could ever get Dana to like him again after everything that's gone on? It's never gonna happen, which makes me fucking laugh. But this is fucking crazy how they basically did this. They inserted this fucking thing, right? And I guess this is fucking the law here, or the stipulation in the contract. So it says Zuffa shall own in perpetuity UFC content. This contract is crazy. Zuffa shall own in perpetuity UFC content and all the rights, products, and proceeds in and to, or derived from the use of other disposition of the UFC content, and shall have the right to do all things necessary for the full and complete exploitation and exercise of the UFC content, including without limitation, to secure, in the name of Zuffa, copyright of other protection to the fullest extent available in the United States and other countries of the world where such protection is available. Yo, this 360 deal covers the world. Dana is a fucking piece of shit. Oh my god. Fighter irrevocably agrees that all copyrightable material, notes, records, drawings, designs, inventions. If you figure out a fucking new glove design that makes you money, if you figure out a new fucking jock strap design, a new cup design, a new strap fucking, you know, ingredients or whatever, sticky tape, whatever it fucking may be called, they can own that too. Inventions, improvements, developments, discoveries, and trade secrets conceived, made, or discovered by a fighter solely or in collaboration with others during the term that fighter became associated with the course of the fight's performance under this agreement, and the use the UFC brand, marks and trademarks collectively quote-unquote work product, are the sole property of Zuffa in perpetuity. Fighter further shall irrevocably assign or cause to be assigned, and does hereby assign fully to Zuffa all work, product, and any copyrights, patents, work, mask work rights, or other intellectual property rights relating thereto in perpetuity. Yo, this is one of the most Scrooge McDuck's greedy, I'm gonna own your fucking life, I own your asshole, I own your fucking family, I own your mother, I own your socks, like contracts I've ever seen in my entire life. That is fucking crazy. Anyway, it says here, Nash, let's say Sean O'Malley starts his own dispensary or some other ventures, a munchie store that sells a ton, but the UFC cut themselves in on the deal and gets large percentages of it. So it's no longer just him making all the money, he has to give up a portion of it to the UFC, which is pretty amazing if that does happen. It's also amazing that the UFC can pay him so little for how much he's drawing, because the agreement the UFC makes and the fans will make is that the UFC made this guy a star. That's why they deserve a cut of everything he does, because they're the ones who gave him the platform without which he never would have been a star. But I think Sugar Sean developed his own persona. Exactly. The UFC don't do much for people, to be honest. You have to kind of do it yourself. That's why everybody basically turns into a WWE fighter in the UFC, even if they're not that guy, because the only way they're going to fucking get any kind of attention. Who's the dude? The American dude that fucking Jorge Masvidal hates. That's why he invented that fucking persona of being MAGA and being fucking pro-Trump and all this sort of shit, because he wasn't getting any juice just being a kind of cool, humble, chill guy. He had to be a heel, and then suddenly he blows up and kind of gets all the money. Colby Covington. Like, it's awful. Like, don't get me wrong, he's really good at playing that role and he's clearly got a talent for it, but not all fighters should have to fucking do WWE Triple H shit to get money. Anyway, continues. But I think Sugar Sean developed his own persona. He's the one that is out there building himself up as this person, right? It's not the UFC marketing team that did this, of course. All the UFC did is offer him the chance to fight the best fighters because they have the best fighters locked up under contract. Exactly. Again, we go back to the antitrust lawsuit. Because the UFC had control of these specific assets, they can dictate terms where Sugar Sean has to give up so much, even though he's the one doing it all. His performances in the cage and his personality outside of it is what made him a star. It's fucking exactly. In my opinion, right? If to cut to cut Dana White some slack, if you wanted to be greedy and keep all the money, here's what you could do also. You could say to people here, here's a contract, right? We're going to take a cut of everything that you do within the UFC. We take a cut of it. But everything you do outside the UFC is yours. They could easily do that. We're not going to pay you a base salary. You only get paid for who you fight. So what's that term? What's that thing Brendan says? Or people say, you eat what you hunt. What you hunt what you eat. However that term is said. So if you fight, then you get paid. Cool. So you do that, and then you also allow people the opportunity to make as much money as they can outside of the UFC and not take a cut. Not take a cut. That would be fair. If they wanted to be super greedy, that would also work. But they don't want to do that. They want to do everything. They want to take a cut of your fucking, they don't want to pay you accurately based on the amount of interest and buys and gates and whatever attention you're going to bring to the fucking card itself. They don't give you pay-per-view points. They don't pay you a base salary. And then they take money out of the things that you do outside of the fucking UFC. Fucking mind blown. And again, if this happened in comedy, if this happened in stand-up, Rogan would be spitting feathers if he heard that, you know, certain comedy clubs were taking a percentage of comedians' fucking merch sales, right? Like Mark Norman was going to fucking the Laugh Factory and selling his fucking comedy t-shirts, and they were like, yeah, cool, you sold 10, now give us half. Rogan would be spitting feathers. He'd be talking about this ad nauseum, right? He would not have it. But in the UFC, he buries his head in the sand, which is quite crazy when you think about it, because he's a lifelong martial artist. You'd think he'd be in favor of the martial artists and the practitioners of the sport, because he was, you know, former fucking, Muay Thai champion, whatever he was back in the day, jiu-jitsu black belt. Instead, he's with the money men. Fucking crazy, man. Dana White is a horrible person. Like, really is a horrible guy. A 360 deal for fighters is fucking insane. But what can we do? You know, I can shout and scream about it, but these guys who can actually kill people with their bare hands, they don't seem to care. So I don't need to get that bothered about it, really. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to get annoyed for people who don't really want to, you know, fix the issue. But yeah, what can you do? So what are you guys saying in the chat here about me? You're saying eat what you kill. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you. Gino, Nate is 2. Yeah, eat what you watch. Eat what you kill. So Colby White. So Colbington White. Tell me no. What are you guys saying in the chat here? Colby is Dana's son, bro. That's his conspiracy. True. Robert Mina said soft-spoken and non-English speaking fighters get fucked over. Probably, I don't really too sure. Dana be like that. Dana's been like that since the beginning, though. His whole thing is bashing fighters. Yeah, I don't like it, though. It's not excusable. I just don't think being a cunt from the beginning excuses you from still being a cunt. I just think it's just not fair. There's so many things they could do. Again, think about everything I've said. Even if they want to be a cunt across the whole board and just say the only way you can make extra money in UFC is if you get your short sponsored, it would then put the incentive on fighters to go out and secure sponsorships for their shorts and put sponsors on them, right? They'll act like their own sales guys. Cool. Then take them, split their money, whatever you want to do. But they don't even let them have. They don't even make money from the fucking sponsors that are in the fucking cage. They don't see none of that income. When Bert's fucking face is all over the fucking octagon and shit, they don't see any of that fucking cash, allegedly. The fucking whole fucking octagon is covered in fucking logos. They see none of that money. All they do is get free fucking trainers and kits and shit. Crazy. This is so wide sweeping and outstanding. Court of challenge is so too crazy. Yeah, space. Hopefully, because that is a crazy 360 deal. Like inventions. Imagine you could invent a new glove, a glove that maybe prevents fighters from eye poking each other, right? Because it doesn't let your hands kind of like splay out too much. Something along those kind of lines. You could invent some forward-thinking glove, something along those kind of lines. A new type of underwear or whatever, right? A new type of fucking knee strap, whatever. And they could legitimately take a cut of that. Do you know how obscene that is? Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue here. Have you guys seen this? This is pretty crazy. I'm sure most of you guys, because I'm a fan of Elon, so I don't really see the bad as much as other people do. But I bet a lot of you guys in the chat probably knew this was a fact, right? I'm surprised at this, to be fair. This is from the Daily Beast. It says Musk's erratic behavior may be caused by escalating drug use, associates say. I was kind of shocked by this, that he's probably been on gear. That's why he's been acting so crazy. Do you guys think that's true? This is fucking nuts. This is courtesy of Daily Beast. It says here, Elon Musk has a long touted ketamine as an alternative to antidepressants. Really? Shit. But some of his associates suggest that the New Yorker, that his personal use of the drug has been on the rise recently. He's on Ozempic and ketamine. He's doing bumps at Twitter offices. Oh my God. Perhaps contributing to erratic behavior. The quote says, a little bit of ketamine has an effect similar to alcohol. It can cause a disinhibition where you do and say things you otherwise would not. A leading ketamine researcher, Amit Anand, told the magazine, adding, you can feel grandiose and like you have a special powers or special talents. People do impulsive things. They could do inadvisable things at work. Musk apparently became more isolated too, as his relationship with the press and some members of the public became more combative. The quote, his life just sucks, says one colleague. It's so stressful. He's just so dedicated to these companies. He goes to sleep and wakes up answering emails. 99% of the people will never know someone that obsessed and with that high tolerance for sacrificing his personal life. Raw, bro. Elon is doing bumps of fucking ketamine in the fucking Twitter offices. I'm shocked. I really am shocked that he might be a bit of a druggie. I never knew this would be the case. What are you guys saying in the chat? A little bit of Ozempic, a little bit of fucking ketamine. What are you guys saying in the chat? Addies and Ozempic, Zaki Space Guy. Oh no, is it Addies and Baddies? Yeah. Drugs are the only way to find a way to Mars. Dark light. Doing keto at work is unfathomable. Exactly, Space Guy. Can you imagine doing fucking ketamine at work? Like, excuse me? The richest man is depressed. Never would have thought. Oh my God, bro. He's just working to get away from Grimes. Exactly. Yeah, Grimes seems like a bit of an intense nightmare, to be fair. But yeah, I didn't know Elon was on the gear like that. It does explain a lot, to be fair. It's been a bit crazy to see, how he's basically approached Twitter in the last few months. I think I've kind of enjoyed the ad revenue split thing he's done. I think that's been a genius move to see people legitimately making native content for Twitter in terms, to basically game the system and get more money, because I think it's made it a bit more of a funner place, and it's kind of made it popping because, there's a lot of money to be made there. I also like the verification thing because I've been verified on there, but he's got a really good feature where you can hide your verification. Incredible, because I think the blue tick is fucking cringe. So there's a feature where if you buy a verification per month, you can actually hide your verification. So you have all the benefits of, like, having longer videos, being able to tweet fucking essays and shit, but no one can see you're verified and you don't look like a fucking dickhead on there. So that's been a really genius move, and I hope they do it on Instagram, because if they did it on Instagram, I'd also do that. I'll be verified, but I just wouldn't fucking have the tick next to my name, because I think that fucking thing is for losers. But yeah, I liked how he's approached it. I like the fact that it feels a bit more freer, Twitter. I wouldn't say it's a safe space bastion. It's a bastion of safe space. It's not the fucking, what's the thing called, the court of public opinion or whatever was it, or the town square shit he was talking about. But I do like that more of the questionable people who got banned under fucking Jack's tenure are now on there just shit posting and saying crazy shit, and no one gets banned. It's a bit more representative or reflective of real life, where people say crazy shit. If you don't like it, you unfollow, but then you just continue. The thing I'm curious about, which I don't really get still, is the block thing. He wants to ban blocking, or he wants to remove blocking. I don't really know why that makes sense, because even though I've never blocked a person in my entire life, I think it's fucking ridiculous, really, to be honest. If you're that much of a baby, you can't handle what someone says. It's just ridiculous that you're going to block them. But I know if you're a celebrity and you are getting trolled a lot, maybe having people blocked is good for your sanity if you're always going in your feed and you're seeing them fucking spamming you and shit. I get it. So I wonder how he's going to curtail that. Will it be a block feature that's only available for celebs? Is it a no block feature across the board? Like how can you stop someone from talking to you? Like what's going to happen there? Do you have to kind of shadow ban them? Like what's happening? I want to know how he gets around that, because block feature for some people clearly is, and it clearly is helpful and kind of allows them to use social media apps without being inundated with fucking nonsense from random people they don't fucking like. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about this. So have you guys seen this quickly? This is fucking hilarious. So I wish I speak about the No Jumper universe people, and YURIY, one part of the former, cohort of people over there at No Jumper, is now a full-time live streamer, IRL streamer, and one of his idols, pathetically enough, is fucking Ice Poseidon. So he basically does the same type of content where essentially he goes around and he basically creates scenarios to make content. So he's not exactly just living his life. He's purposely going to certain places, interacting with people in a certain way to kind of, to sort of like goad them into reacting a certain way so that it can kind of add to his content and entertain his fucking audience. But I think it's redacted. I think it's fucking pathetic, and I think it's lame, especially considering the kid is like 30 years old. He's not even a kid anymore. He's an actual adult, and it's really pathetic and embarrassing and cringe to see him going around LA trying to get people to fucking respond to him in a certain way. But I'm loving the negative reactions he's getting, because one of the things that used to piss me off about fucking YURIY was how he would treat his girlfriend Riley on stream, because he kind of felt like he was one of the type of dudes that would have a lot of smoke and talk really gnarly to girls. He's really argumentative to his own girlfriend and talks to her in a certain way, which is a bit cringe and really uncomfortable to kind of watch as a viewer. Even though they clearly love each other, we can get that, but it's just not good to see them argue that on stream. And I kind of like seeing him being confronted by men and quivering and whimpering away when he's met with conflict. So he speaks to Riley a certain way. He speaks with his chest. He gaslights her. He uses very manipulative language. He's very confrontational. He's very annoying and just a pest. But when he comes across other men who kind of give him, a little bit of attitude back, a bit of pushback, he completely crumbles. So it's kind of great to see this play out. So this is a clip from the No Jumper subreddit where YURIY tries to go into the BAPE store in LA, and they tell him no. And look at the interaction he has with these guys. Big up the retail employees at BAPE store for fucking putting it on Rory. So for putting it on YURIY and making him feel a little bit emasculated. I think this was fun to watch.
Go check out the BAPE store. How's it going? I've never been inside the BAPE store.
Can't record in here.
I'm not recording technically. It's a live stream. Can't live stream. People don't film on their phones or anything when they're in there.
And I'm sorry, but I know the TTS live stream thing is something that you need to do for this whole IRL stuff, but I find it to be so insufferable, so obnoxious that you put on your TTS and you have it playing this fucking stupid song. You let the people say what they want in public, and then you fucking giggle and act like you don't know what's happening and you haven't got control over it. Fucking turn it off, man. Stop being a fucking jackass.
Hector dropped a ball of $2. You are how you gonna do a dab stream and have no dabs ready? Common bro, this your booziness. No wonder you get demonetized.
I was gonna buy 3 sweaters.
What you gonna buy? You don't go in no store like that around here.
Exactly.
Alright, I'm out of here. Do you guys sell water? No.
Look at him bitching out like a baby. Look.
Why does it say retry? Oh.
Jumping on his little Lime bike. Who said here, Young Old Vibes said I hate people who vlog in public. No, Young Old Vibes, I don't mind people who vlog in public, as long as you don't disturb other people. Like, because I remember I used to do it many, many years ago. Or like the Katie Neistat way of vlogging. There's nothing wrong with vlogging, and it just exists. You just kind of, it's just you. You're not trying to involve people in your fucking adventures. I actually don't mind that. I fucking detest the people who vlog and try to pull people into their vortex of fucking nonsense. Leave people alone. Let them mind their business. You mind your business. But stop making it into like a fucking into like an open source vlogging experience. Like, we don't all want to be on your fucking shitty Truman Show. Leave us alone.
Okay, there we go. It never paused.
He's so nervous.
Oh, fuck, bro. I thought you guys would be nicer than Supreme.
Hey, bro, chill the fuck out with that. You can't live stream. He already told you can't, so I don't want to.
I'm on public property right now. So what are you complaining about right now?
I love how antsy this kid got, right? So this kid obviously was just watching it all play out. And you know how some people, you know, your friends, maybe one of your friends is a bit chill, but your other friend is really on smoke. And sometimes your other friend that's on smoke can sometimes get annoyed at things that the other guy doesn't get annoyed at because just doesn't give a fuck. So I love that the guy like brought that energy to him. And usually, if this was Riley, Yuri will be yapping back. But when it's a man, he doesn't really have much to say, and if you see it when I play it, he just basically scoots away on his little scooter and starts saying stuff, you know, under his breath that he didn't say to these guys in their face, because he knows what time it is, you know. Because with men, there's only a certain, I think the quote is from Jordan Peterson, right? I think there's only a certain level of argument and back and forth you can have with a guy until it gets to a point where it's like, hey, let's start throwing hands. And obviously Yuri's not gonna fucking fight anybody anytime soon, so he just scoots away. This is great. Big up the guy in the BAPE hoodie.
Yeah. Am I trying to come in that store?
You're not gonna come in the store.
Am I asking about the store right now?
No, because I hear you giving my man props.
How is that a problem? 'Cause I'm just talking. You started talking to me. I wasn't even talking to you. You're the one who started talking to me.
Exactly.
Your clothes are overpriced and trash.
Okay, you don't want to come in here. You're broke. You're trying to come spend your money.
Look how much of a bitch he is. He says your clothes are overpriced and trash, and then he decides to speed off. Personally, what kind of bitch move is that? Why don't you stay there? Stay there and argue your point, brother. Let's play it one more time.
Your clothes are overpriced and trash.
Okay, you don't want to come in here. You're broke. You're trying to come spend your money.
Bruh. People who wear BAPE think they're so tough. I wear BAPE. And Grand Theft Auto as well.
No, people who IRL stream think they're fucking tough behind their camera, and it's just a prank, it's just a stream. Brother, like, relax. Some people just don't play those games. He's such a fucking muppet, man. So that brought me a lot of fucking satisfaction to see him get pressed like that in public. I'm not gonna lie. That was very, very satisfying to watch. And then that's not it. There's one more clip of him getting pressed and him getting embarrassed and somewhat emasculated in public. This one's even better. He goes to a restaurant, and I guess it's one of these, because, you know, IRL streams, unfortunately, if you're doing the stream IRL, some of your viewers, and I guess it's part of the fucking culture, when your viewers are watching you, they can sometimes see the restaurant that you're at, notice where you're at, maybe see the menu and the name of the restaurant, and then call the place. And basically sometimes call in a bomb threat, which is crazy, or they can call in a complaint, or ask your name, or order food for you. You can get, you know, different sort of things to kind of troll and to add to the entertainment of it. Yuri's fans decided to go the dark route and call the restaurant that he was at eating his fucking onion rings and say that he was secretly filming the girls' bums or some shit. So you can imagine what the response was from the waitresses that are working there and the guy who maybe is the manager or the bouncer or whatever. It's fucking hilarious. This clip is fucking sensational. Big up the No Jumper subreddit guys for posting this. This is fucking great.
The same you were filming the waitress butt crack and stuff like
No, I was not filming the waitress butt crack.
You can't film it here anymore.
Okay, but can I clean my mess? Because I feel bad that the ketchup...
No, well, the waitress will clean it.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
All right, can I pay my bill and tip as well then?
Pays bill. No more live stream.
All right, here, let me grab my stuff. God, bro, what the are you guys saying, dude? Oh my God, bro, butt crack? Oh my God.
I'd rather work construction. I'd rather work at Starbucks. I'd rather work in an old people's home. I'd rather work in a hospital. I'd rather do any job that people deem to be hard or to be menial labor, manual labor, whatever the fucking term is. I'd fucking do all those jobs than fucking earn my money this way. Having to fucking, you know, basically having to fucking embarrass myself in public on a daily basis for fucking tips and donations from strangers who are purposely trying to get me in trouble. Fuck off. But he actually kind of enjoys this. It kind of gives him a little bit of, you know, it obviously fucking makes his dick hard and gets some blood pumping in his body. But I couldn't imagine anything worse. And if you're gonna do it, my personal opinion is that it's a role or it's a occupation that probably has an age limit on it. I think this is probably fun when you're maybe under 25. You have no, you know, inhibitions. You're a bit young and dumb anyway. Your frontal lobe isn't all that developed, and you're a bit, you know, you fucking enjoy taking risks and shit. It can be kind of fun and wild to get chucked out of everywhere, run around the street, meet random people, kiss random fucking girls in the street, get in fights, you know, eat shit, whatever, storm the Capitol, whatever you're gonna do. But I think at a certain age, you have to kind of grow up. This type of thing is a bit pathetic. People look at you, they know you're grown, they know you're a bit mature, and they're seeing you play these fucking silly games where essentially you're starting to look like a sex pest. You're about to get beat up out. Like, I couldn't imagine anything worse. You haven't even finished your onion rings, right? That plate of onion rings looks kind of full. Let me take away my fucking camera here. But that plate of onion rings looks kind of full. You haven't even finished your onion rings. You're getting accused of being a sexual predator, a pest or abuser or something in this place. They're going to chuck you out. Or getting fucking nearly stomped out in front of a BAPE store. I can't imagine two scenarios worse than that. That sounds like a nightmare, you know? Getting chucked out of a fucking diner somewhere, you know, and you haven't even finished your onion rings, and then getting beaten up, or before that getting beaten up outside of a BAPE store. That would legitimately make me want to cry. So it's nice to see YURIY getting that sort of treatment. Then to end it, we see YURIY here trying to explain why he thinks people thinking he's a creep isn't a good and doesn't make sense and whatever it may be. He tries to explain it in some weird way. Here's YURIY's explanation for his fucking occupation and why he thinks people maybe mislabel him as a creep and cancel culture. I don't know. He's talking some fucking nonsense here.
You film butt cracks? No. And then, like, and it's not even, and bro, this is like one of those things where it's like, if you throw on like some creepy allegation on some dude, immediately it's just like a lot of people don't even want to hear the fucking, they don't even want to hear the truth or the response or the other side of the story. They just hear like creepy dude went to restaurant to film women. You're like, all right, and then if the dude goes like, yo, like, what, yeah, come on, man, I was just on live streaming eating some onion rings. They're like, nah, that's, you're a creep, bro. It's over with. It's like,
bro, relax. You're not fucking Kevin Spacey. You're not that big of a deal. You don't get that much of attention or grace in any way, shape, or form. It's probably just, you know, it just is what it is. Stop acting like an idiot in public, and people are not gonna think you're a creep. It's not that hard, brother.
Those allegations are so hard to beat. Immediately, like I was treated like a weirdo.
Right here?
Could I
could I get the utensils? The same you were filming the waitress butt crack and stuff like
No, I was not.
I love how she says it. I love how she says it. I love also this guy, the bouncer, security, whoever he is, having a cornetto. Cornettos are an elite ice cream, by the way. One of the best, up there with Magnums. So I love the cornetto eating guy, and also the way she says butt crack and stuff.
the same you were filming the waitress butt crack and stuff like
No, I was not.
Look at her face. She's disgusted. I'm like, why would you do that? Are you okay, young man? I fucking love that. I need to actually zoom in on that, actually. That face of pure disgust. Like, why are you doing this? Are you okay? Like, look at this. Look at this zoom in. I need to take a fucking screenshot of that. That pure face of disgust. Like, why are you doing this, young man? It's fucking brilliant. But yeah, LA's an interesting place, man. The things it makes you do. Like I said, I'd much rather bag fucking groceries than be running around doing this type of shit. I swear to God. What are you guys saying in the chat? When you're old, it's just insane to be on a free ride. At some point, you have to contribute. Exactly, Brendan. Brandon saying plumbing onion blossoms are better. He looks like a butt crack photographer. He's like, good point, actually. Good point, Brandon. That's actually true. He does actually look like somebody that would take butt crack pictures, isn't it? Yuri does look like somebody. Yuri does look like one of those Craigslist photographers, doesn't he? He definitely looks like a Craigslist photographer, for sure. Or photographer you'll find on Facebook. right? That he definitely does look like one of those type of dudes. If you're not looking, you might slip a finger in. LA is a colony of NPCs recording themselves at this point. Exactly, Uche. Cloud K20 says, homie just wants that ice cream. Exactly. Yeah, butt crack and stuff is a great name for a strip club. Yep, agree with you, agree. So let's move on from that one. Let's talk about Joey Diaz. Sorry, I'm fucking burping and my belly's rumbling. All this garlic from this green juice has got me crumbling. So this is a clip courtesy of the Fire Kid sub. Let's get this on. I haven't actually heard what he says, but the title was pretty self-explanatory. It says Joey Diaz is talking about Diddler and Callen. So let's hear what Joey has to say about BRYAN and Chris D'Elia. Is this a recent episode? I'm not sure, because Joey Diaz's podcast is finished, hasn't it? He's kind of stopped doing the Uncle Joey's joint, unfortunately. So I don't know if this is a new episode or an old one, but let's hear what he has to say.
And then they make believe they do it to Bobby Flay. Like, oh, let's torture Bobby a little bit. They cheer against Bobby.
Actually, I saw D'Elia on there once. Torture people.
Really? Did you see D'Elia on that one? Oh, that must have been before the 18-year-old raised the hand and shit. Before the bus girl said something. D'Elia's a lot.
Before the 18-year-old raised their hands. That's brilliant. Oh, good to see Lee Sayat, man, the Flying Jew. That was always an iconic face of Lee, innit? Like, fucking head back, eyes closed. Like, I miss these guys, man. That original fucking Churchill Was Happening deal was amazing. It still fucking cracks me up to think they broke Owen Benjamin. Maybe Owen Benjamin was always gonna be due to have a psychotic break, but a psychotic episode. But the fact that he broke from that point on going the Churchill Was Happening and having those edibles and was never the same again is incredible. He left the studio and never came back. He went straight to the woods. Honestly, fucking incredible legacy. They broke Owen Benjamin. That one and the iconic one where Theo does mushrooms, I think, there and then goes to perform somewhere. And it's one of the funniest stand-up bits he does. He just goes to perform at a club after he finished doing the Churchill Was Happening. It was absolutely amazing.
Live and kicking now. They're doing great.
Yeah.
They're doing great.
So happy.
Bro, all
for
those
him.
fucking idiots that came out against D'Elia and Brian Callen, they opened up a can of worms that they didn't know they were going to open up. Obviously, they didn't think about what they were going to fucking say or whatever. Now they realize why people shut the fuck up. Because if you say something, they're going to bring you in. It's like, I was watching The Sopranos. Remember that guy that was a witness and he told the cops, I'm a good citizen, I should have said something. Then 2 weeks later, his name is in the paper and he's like, I'm going to get killed by the gangsters. That's why shut your fucking mouth.
Mind your business.
Shut your fucking mouth. What? You want to be a fucking playboy or a Boy Scout? Do it on your own fucking time. Go tie a shoelace. Go bring a donut to a homeless guy. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yo, that is what, you know, what's funny about that advice? Joey Diaz has a young daughter that's like under 10 maybe or something, and so basically he's saying if his young daughter was ever in the same position as some of these vulnerable young ladies who got fucking manipulated and some would say allegedly raped by some of these comedians, that she should what, just keep her mouth shut. Keep her mouth shut and stop wearing a short skirt. Like, excuse me? Joey Diaz is a fucking psycho, bro. I love the guy, but you know, you shouldn't be listening to him for parenting advice. You should listen to him if you're a victim of whatever Diddler has been accused of or of what Callen's been accused of, because that is an insane hot take. Maybe the worst one. And it's funny because I think a lot of these comedians have this idea that just because Chris D'Elia and Brian Callen are still doing comedy, or especially when it comes to Chris still sells out certain theaters and shit, they see that as a win. I don't know about you guys, but if people thought I was a diddler, that would crush me. Like, it wouldn't matter how much money I make. Everybody thinking that I might be a rapist or a diddler wouldn't make life worth living just because I'm selling out. Do you know what I mean? But these comedians, they put selling tickets on such a pedestal that selling tickets trumps people thinking you're a fucking rapist or a pedo. To me, I think those things are way worse. I'd rather address and sort out those allegations than walk around thinking I'm Billy Big Balls because I'm selling out the fucking Beacon. Who fucking gives a shit? Everybody thinks I'm a pedo. I don't want that. Like, as fucking Fear would say, I don't want that in the slightest. Like, these comedians have like, I think someone said to me, who is it? I think it might have been Martha or somebody. Maybe it was Amy. I don't know who. But I think early when I was doing these podcasts, someone said to me, like, comedians aren't normal people. Like, they aren't like you and I. They legitimately have a warped sense of like morals and principles and what they kind of value in life and whatever. Like, it's very different to like regular people. And the more and more I do these streams, the more I'm starting to realize it. That maybe whoever told me that, they were right. Like, they're not really normal. Like, these guys, like, they're the same guys who would legitimately, if they had to pick between selling out, a stadium and going to see the birth of their child, they would pick selling out the stadium. Even though they could, pick another date, they'd go and do the show instead of being there with their partner, at the birth of their child. Some of these guys, Brendan Schaub allegedly, purposely missed the fucking, didn't fly back to comfort your wife when she's going through a miscarriage and would rather be sitting in a fucking hot tub with all your comedian friends on tour and shit. Some of these guys are running around smashing all the waiters while they're on tour, and they've got a whole family back at home, missing all the fucking games, missing all the parent-teacher meetings, happily missing birthdays, drinking everywhere. Like, they're not normal people. Like, they know comedians around them might be rapists and diddlers and they don't care. They make excuses for them. It's like, okay, I guess, innit? I guess. Maybe it's just like, comedians can do no wrong in other comedians' eyes. I don't know, whatever it may be. But fucking hell, man. Like, Joey Diaz is a psycho. Like, what? They didn't know the can of worms that, like, I think the Crystalia one, I think you could maybe have there could be maybe a bit of a pushback on it. I think I mentioned it when I covered it. I covered, I think, a bit of the Hollywood Reporter main piece, and some of the women in that Crystalia article, especially one of the women who was like sending Chris explicit pictures while she was married and her husband was downstairs sneaking off into the room. Like, sorry, I know some bad things happen towards the end, but you also have to accept that you are complicit in being a piece of shit because you cheated on your husband. You were doing all this fuck shit behind his back and stuff. Like, you took part in this. Fair enough, you could say that. But a large majority of the accounts still paint Chris to be a piece of shit. It's not like debatable, really. He's not the kind of guy you'd want to babysit your little sister. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why that is even debate, like why that's even up for debate or why that's excusable. It's fucking insane. And then the Bryan Callen one, yes, you can maybe say, hey, it's one accusation, but we've got many pieces of fucking content and evidence and recordings and videos of Bryan saying some very questionable things when it comes to consent, when it comes to what's the thing Bryan Callen says, like, women have a predisposition or a biological fucking hardwired to enjoy rape or something. He has some very weird ideas about things. You hear that conversation or that story that Whitney Cummings shares about Bryan. She doesn't know him that well. They get into a car together and he just pulls out his fucking piece. Like, okay, maybe the rape story isn't true, but these other accounts that we've got don't paint the guy out to be a fucking Romeo. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Joey Diaz is a legend. I love the podcast. I enjoyed his book. And I love the fucking duo with him and fucking Lee Sayat, but I don't think you should be listening to fucking Joey Diaz for parenting advice, or if you're a victim of SA or fucking rape and shit, you probably shouldn't be going to Joey for advice on what you should do next, because yeah, that's fucking crazy. Just suck it up. It's not that big of a deal. Stop complaining. You know what Mrs. Shaw did to me when I was coming up in the scene? She sucked on my succulamenka, or whatever he fucking said, you know what I mean? Mrs. Shaw asked me to eat that muffler and I ate it, So yeah, Joey's a fucking crazy dude. Anyway, what are you guys saying in the chat? We're just civilians, exactly. Ned Kelly. Crash saying, so glad Stavros but the cash on Sebastian, yes, Stavros did put the kibosh on that civilian talk. That was incredible to see him do it, because fucking Bert was gonna go on one of his fucking diatribes about how regular people don't get jokes, and Stavros is just like, shut the fuck up, mate. Chris actually thinks he'll have a comeback here. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing. I think I saw the clip of what's his face? Red Bar talking about it again. Like that clip is fucking insane because if that again, let's put ourselves in the place of a diddler, of an accused pedo, right? In my opinion, I think there's like, I don't know how it's, where would I put that? I'd put being a pedo and being accused of rape as 1 and 2 because of like heinous things you don't want to be accused of. Because I think murder, depending on the circumstances, could be somewhat justified, right? And explainable. Like somebody did something to one of your family members or whatever, you know what I mean? There could be a reason why that can make sense. But I think rape and being accused of being a pedo are things that most people should not want to be associated with. And if it does get, if you are accused of such a thing, you should fight tooth and nail to clear your name. Exhaust all options, you know, fucking drain your bank account to fucking clear your name. Under no circumstances can you have anybody thinking that you might be a pedo or a rapist. It's just horrendous. But let's put ourselves in the place of somebody that's a entertainer, a stand-up, and that happens to you, right? You get accused of being a pedo, get accused of being a rapist. And somehow you come out of it on the other side. You still have your podcast, or you make a decent amount of money. You still have the ability to go on tour and perform at different places and do that. You have a decent YouTube following. You have your social media shit still there and all the opportunities that come through that, right? Like, just imagine. That is what you came out of on the other side. Don't get me wrong. You haven't got Hollywood anymore and the industry's basically blacklisted you, but you can still make money from talking into a microphone on stage. That should be, for me, a win. I know it's still disgusting. I don't want to have those accusations on me, but I think if I'm Chris D'Elia, I think that's a win still. So for him to sit there and still hope for more, like, it's not enough that he still has a career off the back of those allegations. He still wants a Hollywood career. He still wants that validation. And I think even Red Bar mentioned it. It's not like he's a fucking film buff or something, right? Or he's a real fucking student of acting. No, he just wants to be back in Hollywood so he can be back on red carpets. He can have variety and deadline covers and shit, be interviewed on all these fucking talk shows. That's all he wants. He only wants to be back in Hollywood so that he can be famous again the way he was before, getting Eminem co-signs and all that malarkey. That's what he wants. But, you know, he's not happy enough just like being able to make money and have a stand-up career. He wants more, even though he got accused of being a pedo. I don't know, if that was me, I would just accept the win, that I'm on tour still, that I can sell out theaters, I've got my podcast. That to me will be a win. But these guys, they're legitimately entitled. They legitimately think they deserve the world. So he legitimately thinks he should be getting more. So he thinks he's going to get it. I doubt it. If he's able to pull it off, I guess congrats to him. But I can't imagine why they would do that. Like, think about any studio or any network that decides to work with Chris D'Elia. The moment that gets confirmed, all the stories about him will be regurgitated again in the press. The fucking Rolling Stone already have a boner for Chris, right? Whoever writes at the Rolling Stone fucking hates Chris D'Elia. They go in on him all the time. I think Bryan Callen has an enemy at Los Angeles Times, and Chris D'Elia has an enemy at the Rolling Stone or Rolling Stone magazine. As soon as he gets confirmed for a role or for a show, or he's in development of having a fucking Netflix special, they will fucking churn those fucking printing machines. They'll get writing again, Substack articles, op-eds, you know, all over the place. There'll be threads on Twitter. All those girls will come out of the woodwork again. Maybe even more accusations will come out. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Like, why would you want that kind of smoke on you if you're a production company, if you're a network? Why would you want that streaming platform? You're already not making money anyway. Why would you want to sign someone? It's not worth the risk. He's not that much of a draw anyway. So I don't think it's going to happen not because they're like have any principles or morals or whatever it may be. I just think because it's just going to be a money sink. You're going to just fucking flush money down the drain. So Chris is fucking fucked. Unless Chris's dad is a producer, right? That's the narrative out there, that he's a nepo baby in his own way. If Chris's dad is a producer or something, or an executive, maybe Chris's dad might be able to greenlight something. That might be a way in. Chris's dad might be able to greenlight something and get him to work with him. That might work. But I also don't think Chris's dad is going to want to, if he is a Hollywood guy, even if he's a rich dude, he still had to work a lot of years to get his position. Will he really want to risk 30, 40, 50 years of his career for his fucking pedo son? I don't know. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? You're on your own, mate. Like, I already give you you already got a fucking trust fund. Like, I'm not fucking, risking my career and my network and my standing in the industry to, have you there, and then you're still fucking texting underage girls while you're in the fucking green room. I'm not having that. But yeah, Chris D'Elia is a fucking psycho. He thinks he's coming back again. But, maybe he might. He might. You never know. What are you guys saying in the chat? Chris D'Elia needs to call it quits. Exactly. I bet Crowder would hire him. Yeah, that actually No, he wouldn't. I was thinking, would he be a good fit on Crowder? He wouldn't. I think Crowder's energy already, Steven Crowder specifically, he's kind of one of those type of dudes who because he's maybe a frustrated or failed comic, so he's always got a bit of a chip on his shoulder performing in front of comedians. And obviously Chris is a bit of a silly goose, so I think Crowder would want to be the main guy, the main bitch over there, so he wouldn't let Chris shine. And also, the Crowder's what's a Christian. Brian's doing all that Christian, religious, Catholic fucking grift. What's Chris gonna do? What's he gonna talk about? Do you know what I mean? He doesn't believe in anything. Like, yeah, I mean, he just believes in fucking very young, skinny looking white girls, basically, allegedly. What we're saying here, D'Elia's family doesn't seem to have any problems with his pedo activities. Yeah, true. I think D'Elia knows he's wrong, but he's saving his face for his wife, family, and kids. Who knows, man? Who knows? You know what I mean? I don't know. Some people care too much about him, about his wife and stuff. I could give two fucks about his wife or his kid. You know what I mean? If they got run over by a car tomorrow, I wouldn't blink an eyelid. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? You marry who you marry, you got your family who you got your family with. Like, it kind of is what it is. It's just funny to kind of laugh at him, just to see him. He's saying he wants to get back into Hollywood, but I could give a fuck about his wife. She legitimately looks like an android anyway. I don't know. There's not a lot of life behind those eyes. And, she's happy and he's treating her well. It's all good. If he's not, oh well, she has to fucking figure it out herself, innit? I could give two fucks. Moving on. What do you guys think about this? Courtesy of the Fire and the Kids subreddit. What do you guys think about this? I personally don't think Brendan has had lip injections. I don't believe this. I just can't wrap my head around him ever doing this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But what do you guys think about this evidence that's been provided by the Fire and the Kids sub? They've got a picture here of obviously Brendan Schaub's wife, so we're just going to scroll across that. We don't really need to pay attention to that. But what do you think about Brendan here? What's the thinking here on the fucking stream chat? Let me know down below. What do you think? Do you think Brendan Schaub got his lips done? I don't think so. I just think it's a bad picture. But his lips don't look... He doesn't have fucking, no lips over there. He does have some lips. Maybe it's just like more plumped up looking there, but I think this is a bad picture. I don't think he got his lips done. What do you think? I don't think so, man. That obviously he gets his eyebrows done. You can tell he gets his eyebrows plucked. That's for sure, right? But I don't think he's that redacted to get Botox or filler in his lips. No way. What do you guys think in the chat? 100%. The evidence is solid. Jordan Ray. Uche saying pretty sure he did. Okay, Uche is a girl, so I usually gonna bow to the knowledge of the women's out there, because I feel like men are terrible at fucking calling out cosmetic surgery and shit. I'm only getting a bit educated in it now myself, but I just can't see it. Oh my god, Brandon says take this down, you're freaking me out, says Brandon. Let's zoom in more. Now you've said that, let's zoom in more. He's doing the duck face, but no injection. Exactly, says Space Guy. I agree. I don't think he's got his done. He's metro as fuck. Exactly, 7 dirty. Okay, you're just saying I don't know much about Philip. Yes, you do. Come on, women can call that shit out. I think guys are just horrible at calling shit out. I don't think I'm even good at calling out fucking fake tits. I mean, that's how terrible I am at all that cosmetic surgery shit. But I'm getting more clued up on it because I follow this really great account on Twitter. I forgot what the name is, where they post before and after pictures of people's surgeries, and it's been quite eye-opening to see this. He definitely has. People are saying, yeah, Cloud K20 is saying this is not safe for work. Shit is scary. People are getting freaked out by Brendan Schaub's lips. I don't know. I just don't think he did it, man. I can't imagine why he would do that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it was Uche saying, yeah, these two pictures aren't good comparisons. It's really noticeable in other pics, in my opinion. You can see the scars. Oh yeah, I've seen that thing. So people are saying that there's other pictures where he's got like these little dots. I guess the dots are like where they inject the stuff. Don't get me wrong, the injection dots look a bit sus. You know, the injection dot looks a bit, because the dots are really placed in the same spot on either side. They're kind of like on the corners somewhere. So that looks a little bit more convincing, but I don't know. A part of me just doesn't think he'd be so redacted to fucking get his lips done. It's so insane. But with Brendan, anything is possible. But I'm going to go on a whim and say I don't think so. I think he definitely gets his eyebrows plucked. We can see that with the arch there, right? He definitely does like to get them plucked for some reason. But I don't think he gets his, he's got his lips done. I don't think so. But, you know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let's move on and let's watch some fucking Fire and the Kid shit. Let's watch some Fire and the Kid shit. Let's see what Brendan has to say here. This is what's this clip say? This is Korean Zombie and Chombies. Oh, this is from SCHAUB Show actually. Let's see what it says here on this SCHAUB Show clip. Let's see.
I think Max Holloway's going to pepper his Korean face into North Korea. That's what I think. His face can go from south to north. That's what I think's going to happen.
Gotta believe.
You gotta believe. Jen, you want to bet on it?
This time I'm gonna step away.
Hey, this fight's so fucked up. This fight's so messed up.
I know. But
the Korean Zombie asked for it.
He's been one. Yeah, he's been one, Max. And Max wanted Korean, or Korean Zombie.
I'm Team Max all day. I'm Team Anthony Smith all day. Yeah, I mean, I'll tune in. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch a sacrifice in the morning of Saturday. I'll watch that. It's either that or morning cartoons with the kiddos.
Yeah, should be a fun fight.
Sorry, kiddos, no cartoons today. We're going to watch Korean Zombie get annihilated. Enjoy your Cheerios in blood this morning.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is.
But we have, refresh my memory, we have Iowa coming up, Des Moines, Iowa in October, and then in December we have Chicago. I haven't been to Chicago in a hot second, so I'll be in my Cubs jersey out there in Chicago. I'll be in my Iowa.
Anyway, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. The Korean Zombie versus Max Holloway fight again. Just being a casual here and talking from my fucking ass. I know obviously Max is probably going to be the favorite, but it's not out of the realms of possibility that Korean Zombie could win. Max hasn't looked the greatest in his previous fights. I don't think so, personally. He's getting hit a lot more than he did before. The Volkanovski fights were brutal. No, they were real fucking barnstormers. So he's taken a lot of damage over the years. Obviously, Korean Zombie isn't the greatest, don't get me wrong, but they're both guys who like to fucking get hit. They like to walk forward. I don't know. And plus, exactly as Patrick said, Brendan has unfortunately cursed Max. So even if you were super confident on Max, the fact that he's going for Max is now a little bit, it makes it a bit dicey. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Max always like, is Max Holloway and Alex Volkanovski like John Jones and DC? Where DC would always get fucked over. No, so John Jones would always fuck DC, fuck him up. But DC is still fucking a top level heavyweight. And if John Jones didn't exist, DC would obviously be champion for a long time. Is that kind of the thing? So maybe because Max Holloway's only lost, to fucking Volk in a big way, that doesn't mean he's terrible. But I don't know. I haven't been that impressed with some previous performances from Volk. I forgot the one he did. What was the one he did recently? Oh, was it against that Arnold Allen guy, right? I don't think that fight was that great, if I remember correctly. Didn't that go to the decision? That was his decision, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Max is still Max, don't get me wrong. He's still fun to watch. Hell of a fighter, great dude. But that fight wasn't the best outing of Max we've seen, personally. But anyway, let's see. Most likely he will win against Korean Zombie, but unfortunately, Brendan's given fucking Max the fucking curse, the Brendan fucking curse. So sorry, the BAPA curse. So maybe this might go a crazy way. So let's see what I'll go on. Let's see. But yeah, imagine Korean Zombie. Imagine Korean Zombie gives Max his first knockout loss. Has Max ever been knocked out? I don't think he has, innit? He's one of those fighters like Nate. I can't remember him being ever knocked out before or subbed. Imagine if Brendan's curse is so real, he causes Korean Zombie to knock out Max Holloway. The Reddit would explode. The Reddit would explode, man. Honestly, the Reddit will explode. I will fucking live for it. I'm gonna live for it. I swear to God, I'll live for it. I actually might put that as a bet. I might put that as a bet. Korean Zombie to win any time by KO or TKO or something. Oh shit, that might be crazy. Honestly, that might be insane. I'm gonna do that. I'm so gonna do that. Oh God. Okay, cool. Big up, good robot. Appreciate you, brother.
Stuck at work. Don't mind me, just lurking in the back. I hope you're well, my dude. Hello, chat.
Yes, always well. Big up, good robot. Thank you for the $20, brother. Appreciate you, and keep plugging away at work. One of the things I kind of miss about working late, so working in retail back in the day, was having my headphones on and listening to the good old days of Rogan. Back in the day, listening to Rogan, listening to fucking Joe Budden podcast before Rory and Moore left, listening to like early, like Tim Dillon back then when Ben was still on. All those podcasts was fucking so great. They would make you, it would be so amazing to fucking, waste away the time, listen to that shit in the background. Nowadays, the podcasts aren't the greatest anymore. So sometimes I think a lot of people, mostly, are probably listening to fucking live streams in the background because it's, it's the only way to kind of make, yeah, exactly. Early Kill Tony, exactly 7:30. That was fucking awesome back in the day. Why did Kill Tony go to shit, by the way? Why do you guys think Kill Tony went to shit? Kill Tony was awesome, man. Why did that go fucking horrible straight away, or so over time? Was it Tony? Was it the way they do it? Was it just the model itself ran its course? Kill Tony was awesome. I never missed an episode. Now it's hard to get through them now. I wonder what changed, what made it shit. People are saying, yeah, I think it got too big. Big up that Indian dude. Appreciate the $10 super chat.
Disagree. Max Holloway comfortably win against Arnold Allen. Volkanovski is just that good. Holloway a decision machine. Korean Zombie has a big YouTube career in South Korea. Should retire.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Korean Zombie's last... Didn't Korean Zombie lose his most recent fight by a knockout or something, right? It was kind of brutal. Who did he face? I don't want to look it up online because it's fun to just talk out my ass. But I remember Korean Zombie losing quite a sad way to somebody. I don't know who it was. It was a kind of a brutal finish. Who did Korean Zombie lose to? Was it Volk? Yeah, Volk. Okay, Volk. So, okay. And Max Holloway's taken Volk to decision 3 times. And I think a lot of the fights have been close. So you're probably right, that Indian dude. You're probably right. But come on. It's a bit tempting to believe that the Brendan Schaub is real. The Brendan Schaub curse is real. Come on, you know it is. Imagine if Korean Zombie TKOs or knocks out fucking Max Holloway. Can you imagine this happening? Oh, it would be so incredible, man. Oh, Chin will definitely, it'll be red panty night for Chin. And when I mean red panty night, Chin will just put on some red panties and start dancing around his room. Like, Chin will love it. If Korean Zombie ends up fucking sparking Max Holloway, Chin will be fucking over the moon. He won't be fucking white and from Texas anymore. He'll be full-blooded Korean. He'll be full fucking Korean. He won't be fucking cosplaying as a Texan anymore. He'll be fucking fully fledged Korean if Korean Zombie does that. I don't know. I don't bet. I don't gamble, but I'm tempted to just put a tenner. £10 on Korean Zombie to win by TKO and KO. It's an insane bet, but I'm just tempted to do it, man. I'm tempted to put £10 on it. I've never bet in my entire life, ever, but I'm tempted to do it. I swear to God, I'm tempted to bet on Korean Zombie. Can you guys imagine? Oh, Brendan's MMA fucking prediction career is fucking incredible. Bro, you're the opposite of an unoriginal reaction channel. Your views are so organic and natural that they couldn't possibly be picked up from somewhere else, says Will Utsi. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're right. Chin saying panties on are the same. Yeah, true. Cloud K20 says sometimes it pays to be contrarian. Chin would get GF exactly. Oh, it'll be amazing. Yeah. Oh man, honestly. What Game Breed Football said, don't waste your tenner. Okay. Oh, I'm tempted, man. I'm tempted to go to what are they companies called? Betfred. I don't know, whatever these companies are called. Let's see. I may have to kind of go out and kind of crack open a fucking tenner and say, hey, give me the odds on fucking Korean Zombie winning against Max Holloway. The alarms go off. Bueno, psycho, idiot, casual, dumbass. Anyway, the guy will be like, do you want to make that 100? Let me take all your money. Anyway, let's move on. There's a trailer here that I need to watch. I haven't watched it yet. This is from Sean McCorkle, I think, right? Yeah, McCorkle Minute. Why has he got a trailer? No way. Is he making a... Okay, let's see this. What the fuck is he doing? What's crazy Sean McCorkle doing here? Official trailer for the intervention of Brendan Schaub. The description. What does it say here? Coming soon to a basement near you. The intervention of Brendan Schaub will dive deep into the clusterfucks the clusterfuck that is BAPA's life and offer him solutions to his biggest problems. What a troll. Guaranteed to throw Schaub narrative on its head and the best brains for the art. Sean McCorkle begs to differ that BAPA can continue living his life on his current path without suffering drastic repercussions. Honestly, this is incredible. Big up Sean. What a fucking top boy. Okay, let's see what this is saying. Hey, big up the Indian dude. Thank you for your $10.
In regards to Tony, if you are an artist, comedian, or even a YouTuber, we all have a shelf life. Humans always search for novelty. It's the anomalies that stick around.
Yeah, you're right, probably, Daniel, dude. That's a fucking very well put point, to be fair. Maybe it is just that. Maybe just the novelty of the whole thing kind of died out over time. But I don't know, it just isn't as fun anymore. And I'm being a bit of a softie now. But before, I never noticed how mean Tony was. But now I notice it a lot more, and it makes me cringe. It's kind of uncomfortable to see how mean he's being to people who are just trying to, realize their dreams. It's a big thing for them to get on stage, to get that minute to say what they need to say and shit. And then you have these comedians who've all made it and are in a privileged position, essentially just ripping into them. I know it's the whole premise of the show, but it just feels a little bit, I don't know, it just feels a little bit, it's hard to kind of stomach to watch and, it'd be funny. I don't know, it's just a bit hard. Let's continue here. Which I said, AC turns in the new within a week. Okay, let's watch Sean again. Let's watch Sean. Let's see what Sean is saying here. The intervention of Brendan. Let's see what he's saying. Let's put this full screen. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Come on, load, you fucking cunt. There you go. Great picture. There comes a time where every man's life, when he needs to hear the truth. And sometimes that truth comes from an unexpected place. Big Sean. And that time is now. The intervention of Brendan Schwab. I love it, the spelling as well. What's that? iMovie and Trugwalk Productions presents a Trugwalk Productions production and associated with iMovie, a big sexy film. The intervention of Brendan Schaub, edited by Beg to Differ, production designer Lopez, director photography photographers, casting by Axe J. Music by Bruce Spring, costume designer John Africa, executive producer BGL. Imagine if he actually was executive producer. Written by The Best Brains and directed by Big Sexy. This is fucking crazy, man. I can't wait to watch this. This is gonna be pretty cool. So big up Big Sean. Give him some love on his channel there and some appreciation on what he's going to do, because this is very, very well put. I'm actually looking forward to seeing when this drops. No date on this release, unfortunately. We just have to kind of wait and see. But I'll subscribe. I'll give my man a little likey, and we'll wait to see when that eventually comes up. But yeah, check out Big Sean McCorkle. He's called McCorkle Minute, his channel. Give him a follow there, and hopefully we get that movie very soon so we can see what he's talking about. Let's move up, and let's move on. Let's watch a bit of should we watch a bit of the fucking the fucking Fire and a Kid, or should we watch the clips? I don't know. You guys don't like watching the whole thing, innit? Because it makes you get sad and shit. Maybe just watch the clips and okay. Let me just get the clips from the fucking sub then. I don't want to bore you guys to death. So let's get this. What are some of the clips here that I haven't watched just yet? We have Callen Speaks the Truth. Let's get that one. Let's see what this is about. Allegedly Callen speaking the truth. Let's see what he's speaking the truth about here. Is he admitting to the R word? What truth? What truth is he speaking? Well, let's see what he's saying here. He admits to the truth. Let's get this up on the screen. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, true. What should? Yeah, we're gonna do that as well. Stinger Goo. Yes, we're gonna do that. Yes. Let's just play this one more time. Let's get this. Actually, let's wait for your thing to come up. Bear with me a second, and we'll continue with this. Wait for me a second. Yeah, but of course we're gonna watch the Chin's vlog. Of course, that's on the list. Come on, guys. Chin's latest vlog. We have to watch that. Of course, we have to watch. I think there's 2. There's 3 actually I haven't watched, but we're gonna watch the latest one, and then the other ones will watch another time. But there's 3 that I haven't watched. Back to I think there's one more Korean one. From his adventures out there, and some other ones he's watched as well. So I need to come check this out. Big up Stinger Goo. Appreciate the $2 super chat, brother.
You watched Chin's latest vlog?
Yep, that's coming up. Like I said, we're gonna have it coming, so please bear with me. Let's continue this. Let's see what he's saying here. What's this one? What did he say again? What's this thing? I don't know what the title is. Let's see what Callen's saying.
No, it's not real. And you're also lying.
Well, you don't think Hawaii would be upset at that?
I think you're a fat liar. Just like you said, you saw fucking mountain lions.
Oh, Bryan Callen's calling Brendan out for his lies. Interesting, as Brendan will say. One more time.
That's not real. And you're also lying.
Well, you don't think Hawaii would be upset at that?
I think you're a fat liar. Just like you said, you saw fucking mountain lions.
I like this. I'm not too sure what's happening. I'm not too sure why he's saying this or if this is a fucking bit, but I like the fact that Bryan is now essentially calling Brendan out on his fucking lies. This is fucking great to see here, to be fair. Fucking great. We need more of this, to be fair. We need more of this. I don't know if, because I feel like Bryan sometimes goes to Louder and Crowder and gets a bit confident, gets a bit cocky, right? Louder and Crowder puts a little batter in his back. He feels a bit independent. He feels like a man, right? And he comes back to the Fire and the Kid sometimes a little bit, you know, with his chest puffed out. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe fucking Crowder gave him a couple of strokes and it made him feel more like a fucking woman. And he's come back here and now he's like, you know what? I'm going to speak my piece. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to stand up for myself. So big up Callen for saying that. That's actually pretty funny. And then let's see the other clip here. What's another one here? We see You're My Girlfriend Now. Let's see this clip. Oh, this is going to be fucking crazy. And this is going to be really bad. It's going to be probably him trying to defend the Predator. Let's see. This is again first year the fucking Fire and the Kid sub. Let's see what this is about. You're My Girlfriend Now. Oh no, Callen, what are you saying? Please, for the love of God, don't say nothing stupid. Let's see what he's saying here. Let's see what fucking Bryan Callen. Let's see what brain fucking busters Bryan Callen's gonna pull out here. Strap in, guys. Strap in.
I had no other choice, dude.
So have you seen this? There's a Spanish football president, and then so this women's team won the World Cup.
She kicked the game-winning goal, dude.
Yeah, and then he said he was like overcome with emotion, and I'll show you the video of him kissing her.
I saw this. Is this a Spanish thing?
Yeah, no. She said she didn't like it.
Oh, I don't like that either. It's uncomfortable. Is that a Spanish thing?
I mean,
it's a woman
that's her coach.
too.
That's her coach.
Give me a break.
Excuse me? That's a coach. Give me a break. Are you insane? By the way, to give you some background, that guy in the picture there, the baldy, is the head of the Spanish FA, the Spanish Football Association. Spain were playing against the women's the England women's team in the final of the World Cup. They won. They go to collect their trophies and their medals, right? He's there to present the medals to the Spanish players. Cool. He'll be there even for the English players. He's a fucking representative of the government. He'll go there to go whatever. Cool. He then decides in the fucking heat of the moment to grab one of the players by the face and plant a kiss on her when he's so excited giving her the medal. To add context to this, he's already mentioned in the past how he likes her. Like, he's mentioned it in a jokey type of way. So people kind of know he's always had the hots for this particular girl. Then in the situation, he has to just grab her by force and kiss her, you know, without her fucking permission. Which is essentially textbook sexual assault. That's textbook sexual assault, sexual harassment. Textbook. Like, you can't get anywhere far from that. It's not me being a pussy. It's not me being a fucking simp or being an apologist. That's just like, you know, it's like you walking up to a random woman in the street and kissing her in the cheek. You should go to fucking jail. So him saying it's the coach, it's okay. It's like, no, it's not the coach. And if it was the coach, it's not okay. Like, well, look what happened to fucking. Is he basically saying that Simone Biles, that girl, right? And that whole Olympic team, when they were going through that issue with their gymnastics instructor, big up Crash, appreciate you. Oh, it's not playing the thing. Maybe because you put the at and there's, yeah, the thing. But yes, there's more evidence of Callen's rape tendencies. Exactly, sad. Exactly, Crash. Because even if you think about the Simone Biles stuff, right, with the Olympic team and that guy and the shit that he did, he was a coach, wasn't he? Or he was one of the people in charge. Why wasn't that okay then? Honestly, this is mind-numbingly insane. And again, put into context, this is Bryan Callen, a guy that his whole career, his whole livelihood was nearly threatened because of an allegation of rape and harassment and shit. Because people kind of skirt over that. Put the rape allegation to one side. Everyone, you know, women have their own, it may be interpretation. No, women have their own interpretation. Maybe it's a he said, she said thing. You can maybe argue that if you're a Callen apologist. But the other accounts are pretty damning. The account of him, you know, running around the fucking Uniqlo changing room, chasing some woman in fucking underwear and shit. All of that stuff is sexual harassment. The thing that Whitney Cummings spoke about him pulling out his piece when he's in the car, that's also sexual harassment. And then he comes out and says this. Comes out, get it? But yeah, Bryan Callen's a fucking, look at his face. He's actually, this is why I say again before, what I said beforehand, and I wish I remember who said it to me, whether it's Martha or whoever it may be, big up you. But whoever told me early on when I was doing these streams, hey, these comedians aren't normal people, like, just get that in your head. I think they were right, because look at Callen's face. He actually looks perplexed. He doesn't understand why this is an issue. Why can't a coach kiss their player? Why can't the coach of a women's soccer team kiss one of their star players on the lips uninvited? Why not? I'm the coach. Why can't an official of the football league do that? Like, why am I not allowed to do that? Is that not my right? Let's play the video.
He was just like excited. Fuck off.
Damn, calls for his resignation.
Oh, fuck you. Are you?
Excuse me, but if you do that, you should probably resign. You should probably offer your resignation because of how embarrassed you are. And then if they maybe want to, you know, educate you instead and not accept your resignation, that's one thing. But you should offer it as a token of how apologetic you are. I think so. Because maybe in the moment you could do that. Maybe. Let's say, imagine in the moment you grab the female soccer player's face and kissed her on the lips, hardcore. Cool. But surely if you're a decent guy and you didn't mean to come across that way, you didn't want to be a creep, you didn't want to be an abuser, you say I'm sorry and big up who's this? Big up Matthew Escolin. No message there, but thank you for the $5 donation, brother. Appreciate you. Surely if you're a decent human, a decent man, you'd be like, you know what? I feel horrible about it. I'm mortified, but I was drunk. I was off the yak. I had a couple of bumps. I was doing the fucking Elon Musk ketamine. Whatever. I had a couple of MDMA. I had a couple of, you know, I had a bit of MDMA. I had some Molly in my drink, and you can maybe say, hey, I'm really sorry, and offer the resignation, send the woman some money, whatever. Publicly chastise yourself, go to fucking repent, confession. But these guys are like, nah, man, that's too much. It's just some fun between the lads. Honestly, man, Bryan Callen is never going to beat these allegations. Look at this old man's face. He's actually confused. Look at him. He's actually confused. He doesn't get it.
Kidding.
But I mean, if that was your daughter, you wouldn't like that either, right?
If that was my daughter, I'd be like, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
See, look at the silence. That's a good question. Good question, Chin. Bryan, can you answer that? You have a daughter, no? Bryan has a daughter that I think is a teenager now. She should be a teenager, kind of old, I'm assuming. He has 2 kids. He has a son and a daughter. Please, Bryan, can you please answer the question? Would you be okay if your daughter's soccer coach kissed her in the lips and he's the same age as you? Let's also say that, right? Because that Rubles guy is probably the same age as Callen, the head of the FA. Let's hear his reaction. What does he say here? Or does he ignore it?
Yeah,
Did he kiss just her or everybody on the mouth?
Just her.
Oh, he didn't answer the question. No, answer the question what Chin said. I want to go back to that in 1 minute because Chin asked a really good question there. If that was your daughter, how would you feel? Please, Callen, answer this.
Like that either, right?
If that was my daughter, I'd be like, yeah.
Are you kidding?
But I mean, if that was your daughter, you wouldn't like that either, right?
If that was my daughter, I'd be like, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 730 said, no, that guy's like 40s and she's in 19. Cool, whatever. I don't care what age they are. That's just unprofessional. That's like your boss kissing you at a staff party because, oh no, kissing you at a team meeting because he gave you a fucking award for being the salesperson of the year. That's incredibly inappropriate. Like, in some workplaces, you're not allowed to fucking hook up with your colleagues. Can you imagine your boss touching your bum on the way to the fucking toilets or kissing you uninvited? Do you know how unprofessional and how much of an abuse of power that is? That's crazy. Let's continue.
Did he kiss just her or everybody on the mouth?
Just her.
It's just these dumbass people. Fuck you. Their coach. Fuck you.
I don't know if it's
okay. Brendan had a good reaction. Did he kiss everybody like that? Again, that's not it's fucking crazy way to justify sexual abuse. If you rape everybody in a room, then it's okay. Okay, cool. It's a crazy way, but let's just run with Brendan's logic here. Did he do that to everybody as like a form of like endearment? No, he picked out that girl in particular and gave her the kiss on the lips. And Bryan's reaction is to say, "Fuck you." Let's go one more time on that.
Just her or everybody on the mouth?
Just her.
It's just these dumbass people. Fuck you. It's their coach. Fuck you.
I don't know if it's a coach. Is it the president of the soccer thing?
It's fine. It's fine. Hey, if she's fine, everybody's fine.
No, but she said she wasn't fine, Bryan. She said she wasn't fine. Doesn't that count if she says no? But I guess, I just realized it. That's where the whole "you're my girlfriend now" comes from. Bryan was deciding for the girl that he was talking about. He said, "Hey, you are my girlfriend now. You have no fucking, opinion on the matter. I'm making you my girlfriend." So basically, he's kind of being kind of authentic. He's being who we know him to be. He's the "you're my girlfriend now" guy. So he's saying, if I give you a kiss, it's okay. If I touch your boob uninvited, it's fine. If I fucking finger blast you without asking permission, it's fine. This is a textbook creep 101 session we're in right now. Look at him. Please, I want you to zoom in on his face. I'm going to do it later. But look at Bryan's face. He's perplexed. He does not understand why people are upset about this. He doesn't get it in the slightest. Even with a teenage daughter. Even with the allegations against his name. Oh my God, this is so fascinating to watch. Big up whoever clipped this on the Final Kid Reddit. I appreciate you. Wow, these guys are fucking insane.
Made a mistake for sure. I would accept it. Moment of emotion without any bad intention or bad faith.
Talk to the people in Ukraine. They're having a hard time. Fuck off.
We saw it as something natural.
What? Photography people in Ukraine haven't. What are you talking about? Why are you talking about Ukraine? What's Zelensky got to do with this? What does Zelensky have to do with this? What does Slava Ukraine have to do with this? Can someone explain? Is there a conspiracy against people who kiss women uninvited? The US government is pouring too much money into the war. Oh my god.
Normal. Did she say anything?
She said she was on a live stream, and then they asked her what she thought of it. She goes, I didn't like it. That was pretty much it, though.
Fuck you.
She says on live stream, I didn't like it. She's choosing her words carefully because if you know anything about the Spanish FA, they're incredibly corrupt and, you know, a bit backwards and shit. So she's probably choosing her words carefully because she doesn't want to, you know, put into jeopardy her career, right? And which is obviously clearly an abuse of power. So she's choosing her words carefully. Not trying to expound on it. She's not going on a big press tour. She's not doing loads of interviews because she knows it could backfire on her because now she's the, you know, flavor of the month. People are talking about it in the news, but this is Spanish stuff, so it might get swept away in a rug and you then might have to deal with the consequences back home. So she's trying to choose her words carefully. But the fact that she already said she didn't like it should be enough to put terror and fright into the hearts of normal dudes. Like, oh my God, I can't believe someone felt bad about that thing that I did, that I didn't mean to do or didn't mean to come across that way. Let me do everything in my power to make this right. Resign on the spot, publicly talk about it, admit your fault, make it right with the person personally, or whatever it may be. Like, go the whole way and make it clear that you are in the wrong and you overstepped and blah, blah, whatever you can do to fucking rectify the issue because it's already something fucking crazy anyway, but try your best. But these guys are here, like the guy that did the offense actually sounds way more like he's asking for forgiveness. He's way more sorry for his actions than the guys watching what he did. This is fucking crazy. Bryan, you nearly lost everything because of a rape allegation. And here you are sitting here justifying somebody kissing somebody uninvited without permission. Oh, this is crazy. I fucking love this. I'm not going to lie.
Relax, Bryan.
No, I won't. It's so dumb. They won this. They won the fucking World Cup, and he's allowed to just get carried away. Fuck off. That's her coach.
Even Brendan looked at him. Even Brendan gave him a look. Even Brendan went, bruh, you're allowed to rape if you win. So if you win, imagine being a woman football player, right? A female football player. And in the back of your mind thinking, if we win this cup, I might get raped. It's like a double-edged sword, right? You win, but then you might invite the advances of one of the fucking executives at your fucking football association of your country. Excuse me? What did you say? Oh my God. Bryan Callen is a world champion, World Cup winning, gold medal level, #1 finisher of a fucking creep. It's certified now. I don't care what anyone says. You're never going to convince me otherwise. This guy's a bona fide creep. He doesn't even try to pretend to be like a decent person and say, you know what, this is bad, you shouldn't do that. This is bona fide creep. Bona fide creep. And again, think about this. This man has a teenage daughter. This man has a teenage daughter. Still friends with Crystalia and excuses a random dude kissing an employee while they're at work, uninvited, without permission. Like, wow.
That's her coach.
I mean, probably frowned upon. Can't be kissing him, but I don't think he should be canceled.
I know. It wasn't like, it was just a quick, you know, I'm going to kiss you like that.
It is weird though, right?
Wow. That might be one of the most insane videos I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not too sure if this is Bryan kind of leaning into the grift of trying to be cancelled. That could be an approach if we're looking at it from a, you know, a kind of detached point of view. Is this kind of an approach to like try to get cancelled? Maybe. Does he actually believe these things? Maybe. Is this what Crowder told him to do? Maybe. But this is legitimately insane. can't believe it. He was like, fuck off. Let him kiss her. But he's the coach. Brian, he's not the coach. He's the head of the fucking Spanish FA. That's even higher than the coach. That's an abuse of power. Fuck off. It doesn't matter. Like, Brian, no, you can't do that. He doesn't, they don't know each other. Outside of her playing football, they have no personal relationship. Fuck off. They're at work. Fuck off. Let him do He's actually leaning into it. Look at him. Look how confused. Look how confused Bryan Callen is. I keep telling you. Look at him. Look how confused he is. He doesn't get it. He doesn't fucking get it. Let me scroll around. Look at him. He doesn't get it. He's rolling his eyes. He doesn't understand why this is a problem. Little Bryan Callen sitting in his little chair. Big up Austin
Callen
Casey.
with the mental gymnastics.
Yo, big up Austin Casey. Appreciate you. Yeah, the mental justice is crazy, but honestly, I can't. This is fucking surprised me, man. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Uche. Brian's the kind of guy to hunt men for sport. Oh my god, big up Austin Casey. Appreciate it for you the $10, brother. Wow, that was fucking interesting. He's really leaning into the fucking creep, rapist, alleged fucking allegations out there, innit? Fucking hell, Brian, bro. He even shocked Brendan. Brendan couldn't understand what he was fucking seeing or what he was hearing. He was like, "Excuse me." Look at him. He's perplexed. I'm gonna use that screenshot. Brian is confused that men just can't go up to random women and just kiss them. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Honestly, man. Fucking psycho. Like, let's actually, honestly, let me just take one good, because I do remember she walks up to him. They're both hugging each other. He's holding her by her face. And then he just like plants a kiss on her. He could have kissed her on her cheek. He could have kissed her on her forehead. Even those things are overstepping the mark, especially when it comes to women sports. I think, you know, it's like you can slap men in the bum, but you can't go and slap a woman in the bum as playing basketball if you're a male coach. You have to kind of watch your fucking P's and Q's. So I even think a kiss on the cheek is a bit much, on the forehead, but you could have done that. He goes for the fucking kiss on the lips because he wants a kiss on the lips. So let's go through it one moment, and then plus the context of it, this Spanish FA guy has already made it known that he likes this girl, like in a jokey, ha not so jokey way. Like, he's made it, it's kind of a running joke that he kind of is into her. Let's do it one more. This is it. Spanish FA President Kiss. Yeah, it's already on here, right? Let's see. Make sure that I'm not fucking freaking out here. I'm not being a fucking, you know, I'm not making... Let's actually look at the videos. Look at the reactions. Look at the reactions here, right? Most people, should you always ask for consent for a kiss? Look at the headlines. Rubles kisses the Jenny Hermoso. Like, everyone's basically... Look, their arrogance knows no bounds. Will Spanish FA and Rubles step down? He still hasn't stepped down yet. Angry reaction after Spanish soccer leader was kissed a woman at the World Cup in the mouth. Like, everybody's reacting to it the same way, but Brian, nah, it's all good. Let's actually see the video. I'm actually curious because I do remember it being very weird. Like, why are you doing that? That's fucking horrible.
De este maravilloso deporte, dedicándole ese título de campeona de este.
And don't get me wrong.
Let's rally the troops and defend this guy.
Exactly. Yeah, big up Stinger. Good, appreciate it. It's like he rally the troops. Oh my god, yeah, rally the troops. So this is what Brendan meant. Brendan meant he wanted his very rich and successful comedian friends to put their mansions and their expensive cars and their wives' livelihood and their pet and their kids' private schools on the lines to defend him and Crystalia. That's what he actually meant. So anyway, let's be charitable and say Spain, right? Mediterranean country. They're very touchy-feely. They're a lot more affectionate by nature. They have the whole kissing the cheeks and stuff when you're greeting somebody. They maybe hug more. But still, in this warm embrace of somebody winning the World Cup, she's hugging him back here. This is okay, right? It was a consensual hug. Everything's going well here, right? No problem whatsoever. You're hugging, you're whispering into her ear, oh my God, you're fucking amazing. Well done. Great shot. I knew you would do it. Well done, girl. Keep going. You must be so proud. You're just giving her words of encouragement. Then you face off each other. You're holding her by the side of your head like, you know what? You're fucking amazing, right? This is what should have happened. You're fucking amazing. Well done. Enjoy your night. you'd fucking deserve it. That's where it should stop. You give her a fucking intense, like, you fucking deserve this. You're a fucking beast. Well fucking done. You smashed it. You give her head a little shake. Yeah. And you let her on her way. Because she's already, look, she's loosening her hands from his waist. She's starting to go now. She's kind of backing off, right? She's doing the girl thing, when girls are not comfortable, they do the old snake. She's kind of bending her back, right? Like, hey, maybe chill out with the look in my eyes shit. He sees her. She gives him a little courtesy pat on the side, like, hey, let go of my head. This girl is Rogan. This is Joe Rogan. He's completely turned the other way. He's got his head in the sand. This is fucking Joe Rogan. This is basically, this girl represents Joe Rogan. She's completely looking the other way. She has no idea what's going on. That's Rogan right there, right? So he's got her head in a fucking vice. You remember in school, or if you guys are handymen, or if you guys have fucking tool rooms or something, you know what a vice is, right? A vice to fucking hold a piece of wood or material to fucking cut it. He's got her head like a fucking vice, right? He's grabbing her little Spanish head, right? Her little fucking pequeño head, right? He's grabbing this fucking chica by the head, shaking her, right? And staring into her eyes. He's got his fucking Vicks on. He's got his Carmex on those fucking thin Spanish lips of his. And she's like bending backwards like, hey guy, leave me alone a little bit, right? Let's go frame by frame. He looks into her eyes and she's probably feeling it. It's coming, but it's too late now because you're so close. Like, she could probably feel it. Like, girls, I think women have an intuition. Is this guy trying to fuck? Is this guy trying to finger blast me? Does this guy want me to sit on his lap? Is this guy like pulling? Is his arms going down my back? Like, women have an intuition. They know Wagwan. So she's already probably feeling, oh fuck, he's gonna fucking kiss me, isn't he? He's gonna fucking kiss me. She's already feeling it, right? He looks at her, he stares in her eyes, and now his fingers aren't in the vice anymore. He hasn't got the neutral, I'm a sportsman, you're a sportswoman, this is encouragement shake. He's now doing the fucking, that hand is now coming just behind her head. It's now becoming a bit central. He's cupping the back of her head, right? He's cupping the back of her head. He's now bringing it in like, you look so beautiful right now. You look so beautiful in that kit. Like, he's kind of doing that sort of shit. That's what he's doing now, right? The hand is the back of her head. He's looking at her. She's like, oh my God. And then as the hand is at the back of the head, look at this frame. He pulls her into him and then he pulls his face into her. Look at her. And then she's like, just with her hands out, just standing there. And he now plants a kiss on there. And I bet you, if you asked him, most likely she didn't kiss him back. He just forced her face into his lips. So that wasn't even a kiss. He forced her face into his lips. You know, sometimes when you have like a niece or a nephew or a little brother and they're a baby and they don't like being kissed and they kind of move their face around, it's like you forced their face into your, like, come here, you fucking little shit. That's what he did. He forced her face into his lips. Essentially, this is kiss rape. This is like a form of rape, but it's a kiss one. Like, you know, because the other rape, you force yourself into somebody. This is a force, you're forcing their face into your face. So he kissed rape her, actually. And look, Rogan is still not looking. Rogan doesn't know what's going on. Rogan's interviewing fucking Mike fucking Baker. He's saying sentences but not saying anything. He's just staring. He's interviewing Duncan Trussell and he's talking about fucking love and relationships and shit and polyamory. He just Rogan's not paying attention whatsoever while Callen is out here raping fucking Addie Liederman, whoever else this might be. Next frame, we continue. He kisses her right on the lips. She doesn't kiss him back. That's what I can see from here. Her hands are still kind of away. Then now he's look at his hand. Look at his hand, guys. Look at the hand. The hand is so at the back now that he's forcing her head towards him. Look at her back. Look at her back. It's arched. He's forcing the back of her head into him, that her back is now being arched. Cool. They're still kissing. It goes on. He kisses her. Look, and look at her arms. See, I told you she's not into it, bro. Look at the hands. She's now got her hands out. Like, hey, bro, this is a lot. She's trying to, like, now it's kind of clicking in her head what's happening. Oh my God. She's trying to fucking get away and giving the signal, and he's still kissing. Because she didn't kiss him back. Because if she would have kissed him back, he would have continued kissing her. He would have fucking started fucking giving her the old R&B. I mean, he would have started giving her the old left, right, left, right, left, right. He would have fucking went for it. So the fact that this didn't happen is because she pulled away. Her hands are to the side now. Then she pulls away. Now she's pulling away. She pulls her head back a little bit, jolts, gives herself some space. Like a good fucking striker or a winger. She makes a bit of movement, right? She fucking does a little move and gets a bit of space there. And now he realizes what he did, and he pulls back and tries to look her again and reset it, but it's too late. She's probably giving him the eyes of like, she's probably doing this like, dude, that was weird, that was creepy. You kind of kiss raped me. Yeah. Now he's regretting it. He lets her go. He tries to make a joke about it. She pats him again one more time, and now she's walking. Before he even can let go of her head, she's now stepping to the side. She's like, no more. No more rape kisses, please. And then she leaves. Big up Crash. Appreciate the $1 super chat, brother.
Rogan looking away while Dana hands out 360 deals.
Exactly. That's Rogan. Exactly. That could be the new meme. Rogan 360 deals. Rogan, Bryan Callen, his best friend of 20 years and rape allegations. Rogan, Brendan Schaub documentaries on YouTube. Rogan, how everyone thinks of Brendan. Like, this could be a meme. This could literally be a meme. Like, Rogan looking the other way. Oh my God. Rogan, all the fucking allegations against Ron DeSantis or some shit, right? Like, he's just looking the other way. He doesn't know what happens. Look. And then she walks away, and then she's finally not into it. She didn't like that in the slightest. And he's kind of regretting it. He's got the kind of face of a guy, of somebody that regrets his decision. So Bryan Callen defending this is fucking crazy. But again, oh, these fucking guys are absolutely insane, man. I fucking love this, man. What a fucking incredible thing to check out. Callen defending a rape kisser is fucking brilliant. Brilliant entertainment. Exactly. Ooh, I bet his eyes are open. Exactly. Of course the eyes are open. You know Uche. You know he's that type. Right, left, and his eyes are staring right at you. Or he's like that. Staring at you, kissing. Oh, fucking hell. You ready to blow my nose? Bear with me 1 second. What a fucking psycho. You gotta love this guy, man. What a legend. What a creepo legend. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, bitches. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, big up the hay fever, guys. You know, big up the hay fever. Right? Big up my guy Coiler. Big up Jared Mellerick. What you saying? Cut up Maria. Show me some of them Spanish dances. Pass me on the ball, Mr. Jones. I want to be someone believes in me. Okay, I see what you did there, brother. But yeah. Yeah, big up the hay fever guys. Yeah, big up the dead air. Big up the hay fever gang. Big up my guys cutting up the hay fever and shit. Big up all of you guys out there. Hope you're having a good time. What we finna do right now? Oh yeah, let's watch a couple more clips to watch from the Final Kid sub. Let me just check it out. I actually went to watch the whole thing with you guys, but I know sometimes I watch the whole thing and I lose most of you because, you know, you don't actually watch the pod. I don't think most of you do. I sometimes do to check out fucking clips, but let's not do that. So we spoke about the Callen thinking kissing random women uninvited is fine, and then this is one we need to check out. Rinks has definitely been in Chang's. This is a good one, I think. This one's the one where he talks about Brendan lying. Yeah, this might be a good one. This might be a good one. Let's check this out here. Big up the Fire and the Kids subreddit guys again for putting this together. This is a good one. I might actually watch the episode and get some more clips.
I don't think he comes around to
You know the other.
Let's go. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This might be one of the best clips in recent history. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with the title of this clip, of this post? Rinks has definitely been in Changs recently. Did his utmost to bait Brendan into another celebrity lie. So, what do you think is the deal here? Do we think Bryan Callen has been perusing the Fire and the Kids subreddit and has seen all the memes and the trolls about Brendan basically saying he knows all the celebrities? Every celebrity that they talk about, somehow that celebrity is a big fan of Brendan, said they're a fan, said they want him to train him, said that they like his comedy, they want to hang out for every reason. And I guess Bryan kind of, played him a little bit here. This is the fucking brilliant clip. Let's see this. I'm not sure if I believe he's been on Fire and the Kid to look at these type of things, but he probably has heard somebody DM him probably. Let's see here.
I don't think he comes around to
You know the other Kardashians a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he comes around to the family function. He doesn't like what they're about. Good for him. That's how he feels. Doesn't want to be on camera. Yeah, that's all. That's stress pounds, but.
Do you know? Have you met Kanye?
Yes. What about him, dude?
Have you talked to him? Spent time with him?
Mm-hmm.
He knows who you are.
I doubt it. Probably just a white boy with a face.
Or he might.
I'm not Jewish, so he talks to me.
Oh. True.
What else you got, Jen?
Honestly, look at the face. I think he knew what he was doing. And I think Brendan realized it too. I really wanted Callen to go down a list of names and just start naming random people. Have you ever met Bradley Cooper? Have you bumped into Brad Pitt before? Have you ever met Tom Cruise? Have you met Samuel Jackson? Like, I really want him to go down a list. Have you met Kevin Hart before? Do you know Kevin Hart? Eddie Murphy? Tiffany Haddish? Lizzo? I don't know. Just start going down the list. I really wanted him to do that. I swear to God. But again, this clip is another illustration of why I think Brendan is a quintessential pathological liar. Because even when he's invited to tell the truth, and it's quite clearly a goad, quite clearly a bit of a trap, he just can't help himself to say, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I've met that guy before. Yeah, we're good friends. He can't help it. That for me is a sign of somebody that's a pathological fucking liar. Just instead of a regular person be like, nah, not really, to be honest. Or you might like do a bit of a humble brag where you say, oh, actually, no, I remember this one time I was at In-N-Out and I think Courtney was there. She just had left. And I saw that one of their cars pulling out of the driveway or something. You might say one of those kind of stories where it places you in the proximity of a celebrity, but you kind of, make yourself you kind of put yourself in the backseat of the story by saying, oh, you kind of play it down a bit by saying you only saw them leaving and they were in their car when you were pulling up. And you only noticed it when you saw everybody kind of giggling outside, all these little girls outside, screaming and shit. That might be a way to kind of tell a story, but nah. He likes us to be like, no, I know her. We've exchanged numbers. She DM'd me. She asked me for advice on fucking makeup and lip injections. I don't know. It's absolutely wild. Like Brendan saying he fucking has met Kanye. One more time. One more fucking time. Big up. Oh yeah, big up my guy Fashion Roadman. I appreciate you, brother. Big up. F in the chats. F's in the chat for my guy Fashion Roadman, one of the best fashion channels on fucking YouTube. If you care about clothes, if you care about the shit that I care about when it comes to the fashions, and you want some informations and background and some of the most iconic, legendary fashion designers out there, movements, and sometimes he's even doing these documentaries focusing on like young and up and coming designers and shit, definitely check out his channel. He's also got good live streams that he does where he kind of recaps collections and shit with other people. It's really interesting to watch in the background passively, even if you're not that interested to hear people, because I'm a big fan of just listening to people who are passionate about things that even sometimes I'm not that clued up upon. So even if you don't like it and you just want to get a bit of an understanding and you want to know why sometimes I get a boner for the good old Margiela, why I get a fucking boner for fucking Demner and fucking Vetements and Balenciaga, check him out. he will let you know. He'll give you the histories on this stuff. So F's in the chat for my guy Fashion Roadman, appreciate you. But yeah, let's go back to this. Do you know Kanye West? Regular people, when someone says that to them, they'll be like, nah, of course not. Kanye fucking West, why would I know Kanye? Like, it kind of be a bit of an insult. Like, why would you think I know Kanye? Like, it'd be fucking ridiculous. But like I said before, like, and specifically to the guys in the chat, please let me know if this is true. And I'm not the only one that has this experience. Aside from my friend John, who I said is a liar, but in uni, or when I got my first job, around those sort of ages, we all have met guys in our life where you go out to a club or you go out to a bar, maybe to go pick up girls, maybe to go hang out and chill out. And maybe there's a guy in a group who plays the role of like, I'm the guy that gets the girls' numbers, right? Cool. Sometimes there's a guy in your group who you see him going to talk to the girl, right? You see the interaction from afar, and from your eyes, you can tell it didn't go well. But they come back to the group and be like, yeah, man, she's all over, man. Yeah, man, she's fucking bugging me for my number, but I'm like, nah, man, I'm not really on that, right? Yeah, man, she went to fucking suck my dick in the toilet, but I said, nah, I got church tomorrow. Those type of guys. You saw with your own eyes from afar in the bar, in the pub, that didn't go too well. She wasn't looking at him. She kept shaking her head. Her lips weren't moving. You could tell it didn't go well, but he comes back to the group and says, yeah, man, she's all over me, man. She's so thirsty. I think Brendan is that kind of guy. He must have been those type of dudes. Like, he's done the good thing by going to talk. He's done the courageous thing. He's got the courage to go and talk to the girl, but then he always lies about what they said. He's always exaggerates, always fucking adds spice or salt to the fucking shit. That's who I think this guy is. He's definitely that kind of guy. Let's play the clip again.
I don't think he comes around to
you know the other Kardashians a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he comes around to the family functions. He doesn't like what they're about. Good for him. That's how he feels. Doesn't want to be on camera. Yeah, that's all. That's stress pounds, but.
Can you believe?
Do you know? Have you met Kanye?
Yes. What about him, dude?
Have you talked to him? Spent time with him?
Mm-hmm.
He knows who you are?
I doubt it. Probably just a white boy with a face, man.
Or he might.
With a face. Mm-hmm. I'm not Jewish, so he talks to me.
Oh. True.
What else you got, Jen?
That was one moment of humility where he said, you know, he was offered, hey, do you know him? Does he know who you are? And he said, does he know? Nah, he doesn't. I thought he was even going to go that far and say, yeah, he want me to train him. Will Smith wanted him to train him for fucking iRobot or Ali, which were all movies that were done before or after fucking Brendan Schaub's fucking UFC career. I don't know. Kanye doesn't fight anyone apart from Jews, really, for the most part, and maybe, you know, Kim Kardashian, but really, like, you know, I don't know. Like, excuse me? Honestly, man. He's definitely that guy. He's definitely that guy. Big up Austin Casey. Appreciate you.
Some PF Chang's chef should make a compilation of all the times Brenda celeb stories.
Now, I'm going to make a video. Big up Austin Casey. I appreciate you. I'll keep saying this, but I'm going to make an actual video where I edit clips and shit and try and make it fun, where I go through the top 10 best the top 10 best lies of Brendan Schaub, because I think I can find some other ones, because I think the celebrity ones are obvious. They're obviously lies, but I want to find some ones that are clearly lies that aren't too obvious, you know, like, or they're not too like glitzy, like him lying about, I don't know, about the bench press type of shit, right? Where it's like, why would you lie about the bench press? Like, I think I even got it mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, the NFL bench press, I think the standard is like 220 pounds or something, right? And he actually did 13, which I think is still good. I think obviously if you're an athlete, it's not great, but for the regular person, regular civilian walking down the street, you're still in the top 5% of fucking strength, right? In percentile, whatever it may be, right? To be able to do fucking 221 pounds on the bench press fucking 13 times without a break. That's still great. unbroken 13 times. But the actual truth of it, someone clarified to me in the comments, he didn't say he did 20. I got mistaken. He lied and said he did 40. He didn't lie and say he did 20, which is, you know, a couple more than 13. He said he did 40. Unbroken, which would make him one of the strongest men ever to walk the face of the earth. He'd be one of the strongest men in history ever. And somehow he never made it in the NFL because of what, politics and, you know, like what he was discriminated against because he was white or something. I don't know. I want to know those type of lies I want to highlight. So I swear to God, I'm going to promise myself to do it one day. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through the back fucking channels of Reddit. I'm going to check old videos. I have to find all those type of lies because this guy is incredible. Incredible. I also want to do the lies like this, like the shoe lies, because I know he kind of lies and says he has a sneaker guy. His sneaker guy is fucking Shenzhen factories. These are all reps. I know they are. 100% these are all reps. So I want to see those kind of lies. He's gonna lie and say, "I've got a sneaker guy on Instagram." No, you don't. You buy your shoes from China. Like let's call a spade a spade. I want to find all that shit out and put it on the list because this is too much, man. Bro, like think about this, right? Again, I'm trying to put my feet in the place of a fucking liar. It could probably be more. It's more believable that Brendan knows a Kardashian than Kanye. You could actually make that make sense because Brendan worked for a very short time at E, right? And I'm sure Keeping Up Kardashians was on E before. Now I think it's on Hulu or I don't know where it's on, somewhere else. But you could lie if you're Brendan, and it could be somewhat believable that you know the Kardashians because of the time you worked at E, because you live in LA and you're just around all the fucking bait spots. That makes sense. But Kanye is a known recluse. He hangs around like he's not everywhere. Like he's in Florida. Even back then when he wasn't, you know, quote unquote cancelled and shit, he still was with a certain type of people. He's not going to be. When would he ever bump into Brendan? Brendan doesn't play basketball. He doesn't go to fucking hip hop shows. He's not on the Breakfast Club and shit. I mean, like, where would they bump into each other? If he actually lied and said, "Hey, I know Kourtney Kardashian, I know fucking Khloe Kardashian, I know Kendall, I know Kylie Jenner," like that would make more sense. You can actually believe that. But lying about fucking Kanye. Because even the Drake thing, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a picture with Drake, right? That picture he's got with Drake, if I'm not mistaken, that was when Conor fought Floyd, right? Probably. That picture that Brendan's got with Drake. That's believable because Drake goes to fights. He likes fights. I think, yeah, he was at that fight, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was backing Conor, right? I think that might be one of the places where the whole Drake curse maybe started. But Kanye, when is he ever going to see Kanye? I just can't understand, man. That's a fucking incredible lie. Brendan Schaub is like, I love this guy. He's the best. And this is better than anything. I don't care. This is better than Love Island. This guy's fucking incredible. I love this shit. What an incredible lie. What are you guys saying in the chat here? The Fish Tank series is just absurd. Exactly. I just remembered his Rick Ross. Oh my God, Uche. Oh my fucking God. Uche, don't do this to me. See, I need to make this video. Uche, please don't do this to me. The Rick Ross lie about the fish tank. That's fucking Spanish rape kiss level. That fish tank story is crazy. Because if I'm not mistaken, the story starts off with Rick Ross DMing Brendan. Don't forget that bit. The story starts off like that. The story starts off with Brendan uploading a picture of him receiving a fish tank or something. And then Rick Ross DM'd him and asked him for advice or some shit. I swear to God that's how it starts. I'm pretty sure. So imagine how crazy he is to lie about that. Rick Ross reached out to him. Oh, I fucking love it. Rick Ross DM Brendan and said, "Hi." I'm sorry, it's too late. I can't laugh too loud. It's too late. Oh shit. Rick Ross in between throwing car shows and trolling 50 Cent and living his best life at his massive mansion, he DM'd Brendan to ask him advice on fucking fish. Yeah, alright, cool man. Cool. Big up Eric C. Appreciate you, brother. Oh no, I don't appreciate
Manchester
you.
is blue. Blue heart.
Oh,
blue heart.
fuck off.
Blue
Oh,
heart.
okay.
Trophy.
I have to let it play.
Trophy.
I can't believe I said I appreciate you. I can't even appreciate you. Put the 3 blue hearts. You put the 3 trophies to symbolize a treble. You're a horrible person, Eric C. You're a horrible person. I wish I could delete that fucking super chat, but thank you. What are you saying here? Kanye was on Jerry. Maybe he met in there. Valdez fam, come on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Fucking, what's his thing? What's his face? Rogan's his North Star for real then. I bet Drake begged Brendan to take the photo. Yeah, exactly. 7:30. Big up young Valdez fam.
Kanye was on JR. You could have met him there.
Nah, don't do that to me, man. Don't do that. I'm not having that. You're not going to get me to fucking agree with that fucking nonsense. But big up you for the super chat. I appreciate you. BAPA is a car guy and a sneaker guy. Exactly, Brendan. It's on Hulu now, says Tommy. Okay, there's the Kardashians. Assad says, would have been in the NFL, but my son had... would have been in the NFL, but my son had baseball practice. Yo. I had to go look after the chombies. Go home and look after the kiddos. Sorry. What's his name? Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Patrick Mahomes. I can't play with you this season. Gotta look after the kiddos. Sorry, who's the guy? Who's the manager of the Bill? Who's the manager of the Giants? The grumpy guy. Who's that guy? Looks all grumpy. Sorry, I can't, I can't play under you this time. I gotta go run off to the chombies. Oh, big up Fashion Road, man. That's hilarious. Would have been in the NFL if I didn't tear my ACL. No. That's the thing though. Let's give Brendan credit. Brendan isn't that level of a liar. He's not that basic. He's not gonna say, I would have been in the Prem if I didn't break my knee and shit. No, he's not that level of a liar. He's a bit more sophisticated. So if you hear him talk about the NFL, it's like a systemic thing. They were very anti-white. He grew up in a black neighborhood. He was always like, there was a conspiracy not to pick him, even though he smashed what did he say? The pro day or something. He got some of the best marks on it. It's not as easy as just saying I'm injured, or if I did have an injury, I would have been pro. He's way more sophisticated. He has a bit more layers to it. Like, again, like it was an anti-white agenda. You know what I mean? They didn't want a white guy to win and succeed at NFL because, I don't know. The NFL is one big reparations league, isn't it? It's for blacks only. The NFL is basically like the Raiders back in the day. The NFL is basically BLM. That's what the NFL is. The NFL is BLM and Brendan is fucking Nick Fuentes. That's what happened. Oh my God, my chest. I'm fucking dying. Man. Oh, fuck. I'm fucking dying, man. But yeah, incredible lie. I know Kanye. Anyway, let's hop over to Chin. Too much time wasting here because I've got to wrap this up and get to the gym. So let's talk about Jim. Let's talk about fucking Chin. See, I'm making his name Jin and Chim. Let's see this one. Last clip for the kids subreddit because these guys are fucking the best. Last clip because this one fucking made me laugh. I watched this actually before and this one legitimately made me fucking laugh. This is great. It says Rinks left speechless trying to interpret what the fuck Brendan is saying. This is a good one. Can you guys figure out what Brendan's saying here? Because this is a really good clip. This is fucking brilliant. What do you guys think Brendan's saying here? Listen.
So it said Washington Insider Obama, member of Chicago Gay Man's Club.
Now,
let's listen one more time, all the way through.
So it said Washington Insider Obama, member of Chicago Gay Man's Club.
Now, Wayne.
So it said in 2000 or May 27, 2010, Washington D.C. based investigative journalist.
Brendan is scratching his head. Brian's scratching his head. Oi, sorry, I'm breathing. I'm gonna die. You know what this reminds? I know, again, maybe you guys don't know this, right? But I think I know it's because of I grew up in a household where when we came to this country, my mum couldn't speak English, and then she learned over time. But if you guys are, lived in the house, are from an immigrant family or whatever it may be. Sorry. Yeah, so if you've not been in an immigrant family, you know where it would be. Sorry, if you've been in an immigrant family, please, you must know. If you've been in an immigrant family, have you been in a family where a foreign person, right? The person's foreign, but they speak English really fast. Have you ever been to that person? I legitimately think Brendan does the same thing. He's redacted and he can't speak properly. He has that mush mouth thing, but he reads really quickly, which doesn't make any sense. Because, if you've got a bit of a speech impediment, you've got CTE, you can't pronounce things properly, why would you speak so quickly? Why not just slow down your speech, enunciate your words, and then say what you want that way, right? But no, he speaks super fast, even though he can't speak properly. Let's play it one more time because this is fucking incredible.
So it said Washington Insider Obama, member of Chicago Gay Man's Club.
Now, Wayne.
So it said in 2000 or May 27, 2010, Washington D.C. based investigative journalist.
Actually, what did he say? Is it here? Chicago Insider, Obama, member of Chicago. Okay, cool. To be fair to him, the headline is a bit hard to compute. Obama, member of Chicago Gay Men's Club. Hold on, let's do one more time. This is fucking incredible.
So it said Washington Insider Obama, member of Chicago Gay Man's Club.
Oh my God, honestly, I fucking love it. Oh my God. My chest. Oh, that was fucking brilliant. That might be one of the best things I've watched in a very, very long time. I'm not going to lie. That was absolutely incredible. Big up him. Chicago Members Club. Oh, okay, cool. We have to wrap things up now. I think I'm going to have to leave the chin thing for later on when I come back because I have to head over to the gym now. And I don't want to leave it too late. So we're going to leave the chin thing for when I come back. So apologies for those of you waiting for me to do the chin vlog. But we'll do that when I come back after I've done everything. So we'll see that in a few hours, my friends. Apologies for the interruption and the change in the fucking schedule. But we'll do the chin vlog when I come back. Actually, I might do all of them actually and go through the whole bunch when I come back. So bear with me. When I do come back, I will do the chin flipping vlog. But yeah, too many fucking lols, man. My fucking cheeks are hurting. But yeah, big up everybody in the stream chat. Appreciate. Yeah. It's a 24-hour gym, 7:30. It's a 24-hour one. It's fucking great. So you can go there anytime, and it's easy to use. So I'll go there and kind of do my thing. But yeah, big up everybody. Appreciate all of you who are checking in and hanging out with me. I'll come back later to do the fucking other side of it, the chin stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you fucking smash the like button for me if you've been checking in and enjoying the show. That'd be greatly appreciated. Big up everybody that tuned in. Big up Crash. Big up 730. Good Robot. Game Breed. Matt Rizzi here. See here. Young and Old Vibes. 730. My G. Cloud K20. As all usual. Lovely to see ya. Brandon. Uche, of course. Assad. Assis. Good to see you. Teju. Many of you. Coiler, of course. Big up my guy Coiler. Big up a person called here Vexy. Vexy's World, I think. Big up you. Big up Fashion Roban, who was here earlier. Big up who else is on here? Big up Eric C. Mason Mount, your cunt. 7 Day, I mentioned you before. Valdez Fam, big up you also. Too many to mention, man. KP, Game Breed Footballer, I think I mentioned you. Jian, big up you. And Tommy with Ice as well, big up you. So big up everybody tuned in. I appreciate all of you. Smash a like if you haven't already, and I'll see all of you guys again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.